Good afternoon. It is 3 o'clock. I'm Joseph Milano, live from the 104.5 The Zone studio. In Titans news today, former Texas wide receiver Isaiah Bond is scheduled to visit with the Titans next week after the number 1 overall pick. Tennessee holds the number 35 overall pick in the second round. In Tennessee basketball news today, the Vols are visiting with former Maryland and Belmont point guard Jacoby Gillespie today before the dead period begins on Thursday. Tennessee is expected to be the frontrunner for Gillespie, who has interest from Kentucky, North Carolina, and Villanova. The 6'1 guard started all 36 games at Maryland this season, averaging 14.7 points, 4.8 assists, while shooting 45% from the floor and over 40% from three. The Vols met with Virginia transfer Isaac McNeely on Tuesday. The 6'4" averaged 14.4 points and shot over 42% from deep this season. For our foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Bring news at once. Your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, welcome in 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. And I always say it's a beautiful day every day if you're wondering and you're new to the show, because my theory is if your feet hit the ground this morning, it is a beautiful day in the Music City. There are storms around and we are weather aware, as Dawn mentioned yesterday, because
can
typically
always count on Mayor.
Typically, I pay attention, but I was off on Monday and I just was away from the whole weather situation. But as you pointed out yesterday, there is a threat of severe weather from now through Sunday. And so Will Minkoff with Nashville Severe Weather texted me this morning. He goes, hey, man, probably need to pop on today if you guys want that. And I said, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why we have a radio license.
Correct.
is to do our community service and our due diligence and to let you guys know what's going on weather-wise. But anyway, he asked to come on at 3. Well, we typically, if you listen to the show, you probably know this. We typically don't start shows with guests. But he said in this text a couple hours ago that there was a potential for some supercells to develop across Middle Tennessee and that he needed to hop on as quickly as he could. I just got a text from him and he said that 3:45 is okay.
That just shows you how much these systems shift.
It's fluid, complete fluid situation. So I think that tells us a good thing about this afternoon. But he said the severe threat is still there for tonight. And then the biggest thing moving forward is flooding, because we're going to get saturated with a whole lot of rain. So that's
Do we
that
need
situation.
it? I don't even know.
I don't know. My mom is a master gardener, so like living with that's a thing. A master gardener, that's a thing. Like you get a certificate and everything.
You've got to be official to be a master.
Yes, and so like growing up in that environment, like she always would complain that we've had too much rain or not enough. Like there was never.
It was never perfect.
Like a sweet spot. I'm like looking for the sweet spot.
I might need to
so I don't know.
Chat with your mom about helping my gardening skills. I have killed now 3 cactuses.
Plus you have a weed tree growing in your
I got a
front yard,
weed tree.
which we call it a weed tree. It's not illegal.
It is not what you think
it's a gigantic weed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Mary Jane. My buddy calls it slow jams.
Correct.
It's not slow jams out there.
That is correct. Hey, by the way, shout out to your mom, because some years ago, she birthed you.
A lot of years ago.
So
Brent Doherty sends a lot of...
Hit it. No. Let's go. Happy birthday.
Well, I appreciate you and Zeph and Slay Dog, who's not here. He's in San Antonio for the early birthday wishes this morning, and everyone at the radio station, too. Very, very kind. I do have one issue, though.
What's that, Mayor?
And I'm very happy about all of the messages. Like, I'm kind of weird about this, but I will return every message with some sort of reply. So I do
you're
it.
going to be doing it all day.
I know. And so I'm really behind on Facebook. And I don't get on Facebook at all, ever, but I understand that's a popular place for people to send birthday wishes. So I'm very thankful.
Just for us old people, you know.
Yeah, I'm very thankful to everyone that sends birthday wishes. And it means a lot to me. It really does. I don't want to get emotional about it.
Mayor.
But I do have one issue.
What?
So I'll turn it just like that. The picture that the Zone put out of me.
Remember, Mayor is the girl of this show.
Yes. On Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen, I'm very, like, it's a dream to work here. And seriously, and they know that, which is good and bad. It's a blessing, work with incredible people, all these things. And I'm like, I look at that picture and I'm like, I've worked really hard to not look like that anymore. And so I think, that was
I do
goatee.
think that was like 50 pounds ago.
Yeah, I was in the 265 range then. Because that was when I had a goatee, and I've had like a ridiculously awful beard for several years now. But and I understand that it's awful. But it's me. You know what I mean? Like, I am who I am.
You can't get rid
I am
of
who
it.
I am.
You
So,
can't. I couldn't see you without it.
because of the goatee, that's where I can go back in time. And that's the last time we took publicity shots, and that's when Slay came here. So
And-
that's been almost 4 years.
Yeah, because it was right after I had a baby, and I still had, it was before Awaken 180. I still had all my baby weight. Yeah.
I was in the 265 range, and thankfully, and you know.
What are you now?
214.
Oh, yeah, that's a big deal. That is 50 pounds.
Yeah, 214. I found out I had diabetes. So I basically had to cut sugar out. And for me, like, everybody's different. Everybody's bodies are different, and the chemistry within your body is different, and how your metabolism works and all these things. For me, like, cutting out sugar really helped me drop a lot of weight. So I saw that picture and I was like, yes, I was a girl. I was like, damn it.
Why you gotta put my big picture out?
I'm like, we can't find a better picture than that. But anyway, I mean, these are not big problems.
Listen,
right?
I posted some pictures, and they were all when you were skinny.
You did, and Slay did, and I appreciate that. The executive producer of 3HL is Zeph.
What's up?
What's
Happy
up,
birthday,
Zeph?
Brent.
How are you, man? This is your last day, baby.
Yep.
Have you gotten your vows written?
Nope.
Zeph! I think he's lying. I think he just doesn't want to share them with me.
I like how you say with you. Like, you are the, certainly, like you said, like, your dream job is to be a party planner, wedding coordinator, all those things.
Like, wedding planner is my absolute dream job.
So I don't know why Zeph doesn't turn over the vows to Dawn, because she's such an emotionally sensitive person.
I even
She'll hear them
yeah.
on Saturday.
I even offered. I am so emotionally sensitive. I could totally make sure that that was heartfelt. Yeah. I even offered to be their wedding planner for free, and he was like, "No, we're good."
We got someone who has done it before.
Do you know how good I have? You have not been to any of my showers that I throw or any of my Hadley birthday parties. I am a hell of a party planner.
Anyways,
Moving along. There was some.
Anyway,
that was a dramatic pause.
I got turned down, so moving on.
You got turned down, but anyway. So the idea yesterday was Zeph said he had about, I don't know, what, 75% of it done, 80% of it done.
yeah.
Also, I've done 2 of my own weddings. Hello.
Did you not? Did you have a coordinator or did you do it yourself?
I did it myself.
Oh.
I had a day of coordinator.
Well, wedding number 2 was on the beach.
Yeah,
which
wedding number 2 was really easy.
typical, like
it was number 2.
Typically, wedding number 2 is
Right.
the courthouse or on the beach or in Gatlinburg or on Music Row or
that one was a little bit
Vegas
easier.
or something.
But the first one was like out of control.
Atlanta, you told me about that one. That one was out of control.
Yeah, my dad still sends me bills for it.
You send them over to Johan.
Yep.
What up, Johan? He didn't think he'd get mentioned today. But, yeah, one of the better golf pros in this area. Babsy is here.
I'm here.
I just realized I hadn't done that yet.
Well, let's go.
You put the focus on me.
Because it's your birthday.
Yeah.
Hi, people. Hey,
I
you know what day
I
it
really
is?
do appreciate all the messages. I really
know
do.
you do.
And I will
Because
go.
you're like an emotional, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I'm
kinda
like
guy, so.
400 something behind on Facebook. I know last time I looked. So,
Well, because Facebook like warns everybody, hey, today is so-and-so's birthday. And
Yeah.
so it's so easy to just go write something.
but I want to make sure, like, if somebody takes the time to tell me happy birthday, I want to take the time to tell them thank you.
Meh. That's very sweet of you.
What were you going to say? Today is what?
Your birthday.
Oh.
Hump day.
I thought you were going to do it.
No, I was going to let you do it on your birthday.
Hump day.
Yeah.
All right, Slay Dog is in San Antonio, and he is aware of the suggestion that we had from a caller yesterday about the Riverwalk. Slay has never been to San Antonio. The Riverwalk is what everyone talks about, that and how small the Alamo actually is, because you think it's big in your head, but until you go see it. But somebody called yesterday and said there is a bar, like a 2 or 3 story bar on top of a hotel on the river, on the Riverwalk. And I was like,
Okay.
a hospital with a rooftop bar. I mean, that's interesting, right? And so Davenport was like, man, I've had some relatives that end up in the hospital for a few hours. Boy, that would be handy. So the doctor would come out. I just have this visual in my head. The doctor comes out. Hey, where's Dawn? Yeah, she's in the bathroom. She'll be right back. In reality, she's in the bar.
Bathroom/bar.
Yeah. So we passed that on to Slay, and Slay said, don't worry, I was listening.
Yeah.
My man never checks out, which we certainly appreciate. Nick on YouTube, you can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Nick on YouTube says, happy 21st birthday, Mayor. So I'm actually younger than Davenport now. That's good, because you're 27.
That's right.
You want me to be 30? Is that what you want?
Yeah. You got to be older.
Is there a birthday that actually hit you, like that you felt it? And women are different than men with regard to this, but you're kind of more like a man. So I'm curious about, because like my mother gets affected by birthdays. And it's weird because she says it's odd birthdays, not even birthdays. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. I could see that.
You
like
can?
a 35.
37.
Like 35, 30.
Odd numbers
not
get
to
her.
age myself, but 35 got me.
Okay.
Because you're on the opposite side of 30.
It's pretty easy to. You're all over the internet. There's information about you on the internet, and another Don Davenport. Don't get down that track.
Ooh,
But
don't Google image Don Davenport at work. Just warning you. Now the good thing is
it's easier to find your birthday than mine. Let's say.
Yeah. The good thing is we look nothing alike. Nothing.
The other
alike.
Don Davenport?
No.
Yeah.
I think it's like a trans kind of porn star. Is what it is. Is what the other Don Davenport is. Yeah.
That is true.
Yep.
So anyway, so one birthday hit me.
Which one?
25.
That's it? What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those were like the golden years.
Well, I just felt like, number one, I felt like, okay, I'm 25. I'm like an adult now. I need to,
Yeah.
I need to like rein it in
gotta-
a little bit. But I also thought I'm a quarter of a century years old. Like, you know what I mean? And so 30 didn't hit me. 40 didn't really hit me. I don't know. Zeph's talking to Davenport, and that always makes me nervous because Zeph, I think that if you turn your IFB on, you should only be able to talk to all three of us.
Oh, I can do that.
I know you can, but I would rather you not have the option because you got this grin on your face. When
I
you're
was
talking
just
to her.
clarifying
He was
something that
clarifying
Dawn
what I
just said because I was on the phone and then I was like, did I hear that right?
Oh, yeah.
He goes,
The other Don Davenport.
did you
Yeah.
say trans porn star? Yes, I did, Zeph. Did you have that on your bingo card for 3
No.
hours today?
No, but
Bet you
thanks for the promo for this week.
Go Google it.
I don't think I should
dare
do
you.
that on the work.
I dare you. It might not come up on work. I tried to, this was a couple years ago, but I tried to go shopping on victoriassecrets.com and I got denied at work. I was like, dang. All right.
I mean, you can buy normal drawers at Victoria's Secret, can't you?
I know, but apparently work did not approve.
Work
So,
doesn't approve a lot of things.
Your picture comes up when I search your name.
Okay, well, that's good.
So that's
If you
beneficial
hit
for you.
images,
So that
though,
chick-
you keep going down.
I started to say that. That person is out of business, I guess. This person, this other Dawn Davenport. I don't know.
Wait, is this? Oh, it's a fictional character.
Yeah. Yep.
For
It's
what show is this?
I don't know that she or that.
something cha-cha
Oh.
heels. Yeah.
Power/skills for this character: petty theft, capability of mass murder, intimidation.
Oh. Is that about me?
No, the character, but I mean, it could.
The
that
intimidation
tracks.
part. The intimidation part.
Power of murder?
I mean, I guess there is power in murder. I don't know. What a weird show. 615-737-1045 if you want in, at 3HL1045 on Twitter. Wait to call, though. We won't have phone lines open until 4 o'clock. Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford, will come up at 3:20. That's momentarily. We're going to talk with him about his vertical and horizontal board as we get ready for the draft, and we're going to talk about wide receivers. I'm intrigued by the second-round pick. Yes, we will talk about Easton Freeze's piece where he says the Titans are going to draft Cam Ward with A to Z Sports. We'll talk about that. Also, college basketball. Todd Furman will be in to analyze the Final Four from a sports betting perspective. And again, Will Minkoff from Nashville Severe Weather will kind of let us know what to expect over the next few days in terms of severe weather and flooding possibilities coming up at 3:45. So all that coming up. Stay tuned. Appreciate y'all. 615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. Watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
We'll be right back.
Can you take the power of your home internet anywhere? You can if you have Xfinity. Do more of what you love in the places you go the most with internet and mobile together. Xfinity did this. They built a network that's 99.99% reliable. It's a pretty good stat, right? Plus, Xfinity Mobile has Wi-Fi power boost, giving you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. So you can get the same reliable network in the places that you really need it, like maybe at the coffee shop in the morning, in line at the grocery store, or maybe at a game. That's the most important. All to power more of what you love, whether you're a gamer, you're streaming, or you work from home. Whatever you are into, you'll love how fast you can do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile together. Now, through April 17th, get 300 megabit Xfinity Internet and one unlimited mobile line together for $30 a month for 1 year with no annual contract, and save $1,000 in your first year over Verizon and AT&T. Plus, ask how to get a free premium 5G phone. Just visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, fees, extra after promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon 5G Internet plus one unlimited welcome line. AT&T Internet 300 plus one unlimited starter SL line. Xfinity Internet is required. Reduced speeds up to 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport with you. What up, Babsy?
What up?
Thank everybody. Thanking everybody for the kind birthday wishes in the chat. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please. Coach Mack sent a very nice text to you saying happy birthday.
He definitely did. Coach Mack joins us now. Thanks to our friends at Two Rivers Ford. Coach Mack, what's up? How are you?
Hey, happy birthday. That's very cool. I get notified of all the cool events. I got notified of that. Happy birthday, Brent.
All the cool events.
You're on the notification system.
I haven't told this story, but I think it's a good one. So I remember my mom complaining about her birthday when she turned, I think she turned 50 this year, whatever it was. Not this year, but when she did turn 50. And she complained to my grandmother about it. We were at lunch, and my grandmother, let her finish and then looked at her and said, "How do you think I feel with a 50-year-old daughter?"
You know what? God bless your grandmother. That was any birthday is good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why complain about it? You know how I go through life. We go through life similarly. So blessed to be here today. That's kind of where we are. Coach Mack, we're right around 3 weeks away from the draft, and I know you've got your horizontal and vertical board going with Rhett Bryan, and it's under lock and key. It's like Fort Knox in there. You've got guards, you've got thumbprints, and all these things. Can you when you mention vertical and horizontal boards, because this is how teams put together their draft boards, can you explain what that means for people that might not know?
Sure, absolutely. You go by position first. You gather all your reports. You get your reports, and then you go when you're having your draft meetings that start very early to start lining up players. You line them up linearly, vertically, up and down by position. So you go across the board. You line them up by position across the board, and then you go through it and you start to look. You put them in pods. It's either pods, it's either brackets, whatever you want to call. You put them in pods, and you get a cutoff line. You go cutoff. All right, here's our first round grades. Here's our second round grades. Here's our third round grades. Then you have cutoff lines, and then what you do is you start examining your board horizontally. You start looking at now. Okay, how does this group of wide receivers line up horizontally at this point in the draft with the group of running backs, or how does it line up with the group of edge rushers? And then what you do as the draft starts to proceed, maybe 15 minutes before you're up on the draft, you start to pull names off of those horizontal boards, and you start putting them up in the bullpen. These are guys we're going to talk about because here's our pick coming up. Here's the guys across the board that we have graded that will come within this window where we are. And of course, it's all dependent on what happens in front of you. But then you get a pretty good idea of what you're looking at as far as value-wise when your turn in the draft comes up. And so the vertical and the horizontal board that's very valuable because you don't have time to sit there and go, okay, let's go through all the quarterbacks, let's go through all the wide receivers, let's go through all. Once you get that done and set, and then you start to align them horizontally, then the picture becomes a lot clearer.
Let me ask you this, having been in it for 3 decades plus, and every draft room, I guess, is similar but also different. But I'm curious because there's always a debate between people in terms of doing what we do and talking with fans and things like that. Do you take the best available player on that board, or do you go into it with a mindset of positional need?
Well, you always first of all you want to take the player that's got the most attributes. That's what you're looking for. But then when you start looking at the way the rosters are set up now, and it's different. Now, once the salary cap came into being, then you were not able to stack players up and keep players at certain positions. So what you have to do now, you have to weigh. You have to weigh the value at the draft board as far as to then the construction of your roster at the present time. So really, it's a combination of both. But you never want to pass up if traits are just sticking out like a siren on top of their head. You don't ever want to pass those up.
So were you ever involved in rooms where the ideology was just best guy out there, and then we'll deal with it, and then we'll put it all together? Or Because the reason why I guess I'm going down that path is because the needs are great for the Titans, right? Like there are multiple positions where they need not only starters but depth. And so I'm just curious, like, we get to round 2 and you've got this, like Luther Burden Jr., the third, for example, but, you need an edge rusher or something like that. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what I would do, I guess.
Well, you weigh that because you need both those positions. And You're correct. I mean, you need both of them. But see, that's why leading up to the draft, and again, you go through this process. You go through a lot of this mock draft process, several times leading up to, because on draft day there's really there's really no arguments on draft day. You pretty much got it set what you're looking at now. There's a lot of anxiety on draft day because you don't know what somebody's going to do ahead of you. And so if you really have some, 2 or 3 people really targeted, then you're kind of holding your breath as it starts to work. And then, of course, you get on the phone. I mean, I worked the phones for 30 years, about trades. And you can do that all the way through the draft as far as it's going. But the arguments as far as about who to take, those things, that's what they've been doing when they set their draft board. And it's not arguments, it's discussions, because you want discussions on players. You really do. I mean, the most recent that I was in on is it's a great example, because you start looking at traits, you start looking at height, weight, speed, then you start looking at production, then you start looking at dominance where they played. You start looking at it, and then all of a sudden you say, we just can't pass this guy up. I mean, and that comes into being, but the argument part of it, all of those discussions take place way, way early.
Were you ever the director of miscommunication, misinformation, I guess, the Department of Misinformation? The reason why I asked that is I remember having Borgonzi on the day after he got the job, and he was kind of walking us through the Patrick Mahomes draft, and they were trying to get to 1. Like, they tried to get to 1 to take Patrick Mahomes. They end up at 10, right ahead of the Saints, who have said, Sean Payton said he would have taken Mahomes at 11. But Borgonzi and those guys started floating out there that they were going after Reuben Foster, the linebacker from Alabama. I love stories like that.
Well, I mean, all of that comes from, and most of that stuff comes, when you're on the phone talking about trades. I mean, one of the ones that I was involved in was Aaron Donald. Because Aaron Donald was one of the premier players in that draft, but because of his height, people were kind of, working back and forth on him, and we were going, and we had 2 number 1s that year.
Yep.
And we were going, if this guy gets to us, I don't care who else is on the board. This is who we're taking. And so we were all holding our breath till we got to 13, and Aaron Donald dropped to us.
Well, I remember Aaron Donald specifically because that was one of the, like, it's happening to Luther Burden right now. Like, this is why I mentioned him. But but I remember the Aaron Donald thing where everybody was talking about how, he's short and blah, 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 he can't do this and all these things. And he dropped to 13. I mean, her first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, well, I mean, and again, that's where experience comes in the draft room, because you can't manufacture that experience, and you've got to be able to learn how to sift through all the BS, but you also have to learn how to thrive in that BS business, because I mean it's interesting. As I said, I was on the phone for 30 years, and there's some interesting conversations during the draft.
Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford. Speaking of Luther Burden, let's spend some time on your horizontal and vertical draft board with some wide receivers. It's so funny the information that comes out, but there's an anonymous scout that said his girlfriend is his manager and his mom's a problem, and that he shows up on Saturday but not Monday through Friday. So now a lot of people think that he might slip to the second round. What does the tape show on this guy?
Yeah, good. I'm glad you asked that. That anonymous scout, if he really means that, he should put his name on it. Okay. Here we go. I'll read you my report right here. 6 foot, 206, 441. And he got a 1.5410. So I mean, all of that stuff is there. Let me get down here to my summary on it, because I know we're time constrained on this. I've got reports on all those people that you sent me. Look, this guy's got instant separation. He's got explosion. He's a twitchy, change of direction guy. He's a natural hands catcher, which is big. He plucks the ball out of the air. His after-catch stuff is elite. Elite after-the-catch weapon. He's got good contact balance. He's got good deep ball tracking ability. His spatial awareness with the ball in the air over his head is really good. His frame is he's a powerful frame at 208 pounds. And he's also got good juice as a punt returner. And he's got some dog mentality to him when you start just watching him. And not only this year, but you got to go back and watch some other tape, which I always do. To me, he's a scheme versatile weapon. He can align just about anywhere. He really dominated from the slot a lot, but he flashes ability to win from the outside. The weaknesses on him, his route tree needs to be a little bit expanded. Of course, it happens to all of them when they come into this league. He's really had limited exposure to true press coverage, which most of these receivers coming out of college, true press coverage, they have limited exposure to it. His top-end speed is really good, but he just needs to continue to work on that to stack corners is what I work occasionally. And, again, you always got pluses and minuses. He'll round his breaks off. And to me, that reputation thing, that's the thing that I miss because, I used to know these guys in and out when I was going to school workouts, when I was boots on the ground doing this stuff. But to me, he's a projection. Look, this guy is going to be able. He's going to play. He's going to be extremely versatile when you get him. But he's got all the attributes that you want in a receiver. He really does.
The just show up on Saturday kind of comment, that might be the worst thing you can say about a player, right? You're basically saying he has no work ethic. How much?
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, and I know you always have told me, it's the season of lives.
That's
believe
right.
Absolutely nothing. But within those organizations, when you hear stuff like that, do you feel the need to double check it? Do you hear stuff like that? How does it work on the inside with the season of lies?
Well, if you're doing it right, which most people are nowadays, you've already got a lot of that information. I've worked at several, organizations where we'd have a guy on the ground digging through that kind of stuff 300 days a year on the road. Mm-hmm. And that's extremely important. And especially now with these contracts being 4-year contracts, except when you got a 5th-year option on the first one, you're going to have these guys, you spend draft capital on somebody, you're going to want to know everything about them. So for somebody just to say all of a sudden that pops up, really, if that just pops up, and it's brand new to everybody in your draft room, then really your boots on the ground guys that start early in the spring haven't really been digging deep enough.
Mm.
Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford. Isaiah Bond just ran a 4.34 at his pro day. What do you see from him?
All right, let me get to my report on Isaiah Bond.
Stand by. How much film did you watch on each?
Stand by for news here.
How many games? For example, how many games did you watch of Isaiah Bond to be able to put your report together?
I'll watch anywhere from 5 to 8.
Okay, got it.
Did you see the catch against Auburn?
5'11", 180 pounds.
That was 2 years ago.
As you mentioned, 4.39 is what I've got from the combine.
Yeah.
1.51 split, 34 inch vertical jump. All right, let me go to my summary here. I know we're bumped up against time here.
Oh,
you're good.
I've written here, explosive accelerator. Yeah, he eats up cushions instantly. He's got natural hands. His COD, which is change of direction and yards after catch, is really, really good. He's got elite deep speed. He's got some craftiness to his route running ability. He's positional versatile. He's lined up outside or in the slot.
Love it.
He can create mismatches from all of these alignments. It's what you did with Sarkisian. He's got some toughness, working over the middle. He's got special teams experience, guys, in return ability. It adds. I've got a note here. He's got game-breaking potential on punt returns. Just check the Alabama game out. He's 180 pounds. His production. Look, this guy was a big-time sprinter, and so his production. You're always looking for more from those speed guys. Sometimes he can get knocked off his line a little bit. Again, with heavy press. And sometimes guys that can run, they'll rely sometimes too much on just that pure speed. He can get a little bit more nuance with his route running. To me, I think he projects as an impact as a Z receiver, which is to the strong side, and his pass. What he brings to a passing attack is his explosive ability and also his ability to run after catch. But his short area quickness, that's what makes him a scheme diverse guy. Mm-hmm. That is a big value in this guy.
Really like him. We'll get to some more of these guys next week. On the way out, DHB on YouTube, Babs mentioned that she's killed 3 cacti. How do you kill a cactus, Babs? They're full of water. I thought you would find that interesting and maybe have an answer being from West Texas.
Let me tell you something. I had swirl cactuses in my yard for 16 years in Arizona. Let me tell you, I do know one thing about them. They cost $100 a foot to buy them.
Oh. Mine are way cheaper. Maybe that's why they die. You know what I do, Coach Mack?
No, I think they're under your care is why they die.
Because I overlove them.
It's hard to kill a cactus, is my point.
I overlove them.
Don't overwater them.
That's what I do.
Don't. It's just, I mean, it's different than a mammal. Don't overwater them.
Thanks, Coach Mack.
Love it. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
See you guys. Happy birthday, Brent.
Thank you, Coach Mack. Coach Mack presented by Two Rivers Ford. When we come back, Will Meancoff from Nashville Severe Weather. There are severe weather threats from tonight through this weekend and major flooding concerns as well. Will update us next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. We'll tell you about our presenting sponsor. 3HL is presented by Ferguson Home. You can check them out online, fergusonhome.com. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home where it all comes together. New location in Mount Juliet, 401 South Mount Juliet Road in Mount Juliet. Also in Nashville on Powell Avenue, in Murfreesboro, New Salem Road, and Clarksville, West Dunbar Cave Road. And in Bowling Green, South Central Kentucky, represented with Ferguson Home on Lovers Lane. Visual Comfort and Company Lighting. Elevate your home with lighting that's timeless and beautiful. Luxury lighting with timeless materials and expert craftsmanship. If you're a homeowner creating your dream space, go look no further than Ferguson Home. Ferguson Home has the best selection of bath, kitchen, and lighting for any of your home projects. Not sure where to start, how to get to a beautiful finished project? Let Ferguson Home help. Book an appointment at your local showroom and get firsthand knowledge and personalized experts to help you every step of the way. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home, where it all comes together. FergusonHome.com. 3HL1045 The Zone. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Justin on YouTube. Babs, my wife's birthday is coming up May 6th. You're officially hired for the coordination of her festivities.
I responded to him. I need a very big budget. It's a very important birthday.
615-737-1045, always the number. We've got some weather issues over the course of the next several days. Will Minkoff texted asking if we wanted his services today. And, of course, when Will Minkoff from Nashville Severe Weather texts you, yes, the answer is yes, we want you. Will, what's up? How are you, man?
Good. How are y'all?
We are good. So we were talking today about you popping on right at the beginning of the show because there was the potential for some supercells and some tornadic activity to pop around this afternoon. Babs just went outside. Babs, what does it feel like?
It's like hot and steamy, and it just feels like bad weather's coming.
That's part of the fuel. What else do we need for supercells to occur? And what is the current situation?
Yeah, you need lift and twist, and you also need the ability for parcel of air to lift very rapidly. Right now, the latest weather balloon data suggests that we have a mild temperature inversion. We call it a cap. It's basically a cap on the atmosphere that doesn't let storms rise above a certain level. As that cap slowly erodes, because mixing of air, air up top and air down below occurs, then storms that do fire up have a potential to get very tall, very dangerous, very quickly. So that's what the level of concern was about earlier today, right? Is that anything that does occur in this environment, that hot, sticky feeling that Dom was talking about, you don't want that in early April here when you get wind shear and some of the other ingredients in place.
So we're okay right now. The threat resumes tonight, you were saying?
We're okay right now, but that's ever changing, right?
Yeah.
And so we might not be as okay 30 minutes or an hour from now.
Okay.
The atmosphere is always iterating in this kind of environment. But it's a low probability of a high impact event, right?
Okay.
Supercell thunderstorms in this environment have a chance to be very dangerous. Tonight, greater probability for severe weather. So, tonight, a big line, possible embedded hail, damaging straight line wind, tornadoes. The hard part about it is it's coming through overnight, right, in the wee hours. It's hard to see a solution where even if we do get storms today, they'll be weaker when this line gets here. The next couple of days, even beyond that, chance for flooding, severe weather, et cetera, all go up. So my biggest message is stay weather aware over the next couple of days, especially if you have something huge planned outdoors this weekend.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But that kind of thing happened a few nights ago, right? And so we were communicating with each other about what was going on. I know Babs got in her safe place in Brentwood when you guys did, and so it was interesting to kind of follow that storm that looked like it went through Fairview, went over West Haven, downtown Franklin. Maybe the rotation went up in the clouds, so it wasn't as impactful in those areas. But it looked like it went right through 96, and then Columbia got hit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have zero damage with that storm. Greater damage a little bit south, the storm that was south of that through Hampshire into Columbia.
Yeah.
You have 2 damage. Fortunate enough to view some of that damage, gather some imagery to share with the Weather Service. And, people lost their house. Thankfully, no injuries. Hopefully we come through this the same way.
It seems like all of our storms and the threats and all of this end up happening overnight where people are asleep and you can't see and you don't know what's coming.
Our producer, that knucklehead, he wouldn't answer his phone. Was it he was asleep?
He was in Murfreesboro, so we were
and
worried
it was
about
the Columbia
him.
storm was headed toward Murfreesboro.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it about
Goofball.
night? It's just weird timing that we get.
Yeah, there's a couple different anecdotal answers to that question. The science-based answer is it's just bad luck. The best anecdotal evidence is that storms, build and bubble up out over the plains and then move east. And by the time they get here, the sun's gone down. But really, more than anything, it's just luck. So lucky us.
Lucky us.
So over the next few days, I was reading lots of rain, right? Like, so flooding could be an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially west of here. It looks like in the latest model runs, and of course, the greatest severe threat really is west of I-65, right? So west of I-65 into the Tennessee River, corridor. Certainly, if you have family, loved ones in Memphis, Jackson, they need to be on alert, not only for the rain, but also for severe weather. Rain, as this system moves across, there are some estimates that put it near a foot in, say, Paducah. Well, that's probably not going to happen, but it is a signal that heavy rain is coming. I think the current forecast for us is 4 to 5 inches of rain in Davidson and Williamson County, but that number could go up if the storm moves more slowly across our area or even if it stalls.
So I know normally you kind of look at Williamson, Davidson County and all that, but there's a big event for our dear producer, Zeph, this weekend on Saturday at about 4:00. Him and his beautiful fiance will be getting married outside. Any good news in Shelbyville is where they're... Bedford County, is that? Okay, Shelbyville. I know, Bedford, I didn't say it right. Give him, Will. I know. Oh, man, you got it down. So what do you think about the chances for our friend Zeph's wedding?
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start with the good news. The good news is, as I just mentioned, the preponderance of risk is to the west of us, right? He is talking about getting married east of 65. Risks go way down the further east you go. So
in terms of severe weather, like they're not going to be lifted up by a tornado and carried to Pigeon Forge or something.
Correct.
Okay, that's the good news.
Right. Yep.
What's
Here's
the bad news? Okay.
Yeah, the bad news is everything else is bad. Like, we're still outlooked for rain that afternoon. We still have a moderate risk for late afternoon thunderstorms. The air masses that are coming through over the next couple of days are air masses that produce, large amounts of water. I can't tell you that it's going to be dry. I can tell you that the likelihood of severe weather is less the further east you go. Current model runs that allow for convection don't come into range for that over the next couple of days. But I'm sure Zeph and I can work something out for a little one-on-one consulting for their wedding.
There you go.
I'll call you Saturday morning.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, and you know what they say, Will? It's good luck when it rains on your wedding day, right?
I've heard that, but there's no science behind that, I don't believe.
Will, thank you, man, for the update. Always appreciate you keeping us weather aware and all the work that you guys do. Nash Severe WX on Twitter, NashvilleSevereWeather.com on the website. And when severe weather happens, these guys get the video going, and they're all over it.
We were in our safe place on, what was it, Sunday night? In our safe place with you guys on our phone. And the minute y'all went to the safe place, I was like, yep, we better go.
Yeah,
we live near you.
Well, I appreciate the support, guys. Yeah, check us out, NashvilleSevereWeather.com, and on our socials. We'll be along for the ride with all of you all throughout the rest of the week, and we'll get through it together.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks, Will.
Bye, y'all.
All right, so good news and bad news there.
Now, listen.
Zeph Dog?
The good news is that there's no severe weather. So it's not like you're,
low risk.
Low risk, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
but
right, Zeph?
He said clouds full of water.
The question is if the water falls or not.
That's right.
At that time.
Amen.
Ponchos, everybody.
Okay, thanks, Jackson.
Jackson is going to be at a blood alcohol level where he is not going to care. He is going to be content, and he will sit there in the rain and watch you get married.
That is true.
He said yes.
That is accurate.
Yes, indeed. All right. When we come back, Titans head coach Brian Callahan sat down with Kevin Clark by Kevin Clark on Monday in Palm Beach and said some interesting things about what you will be able to do in terms of piecing together where they might go draft wise. We'll talk about that and play some of that for you next 3HL if you want in. Phone lines now open 615-737-1045.
What's happening, y'all? This is an important message from my good friends over at Bart Durham Injury Law. So you're getting these accidents and, you're sitting at home and you're getting bills. They're starting to pile up. You're thinking to yourself, man, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? How do I attack this? Well, I got something for you. Bart Durham Injury Law, that's where Blair and the family step in. His team will go out and fight for you. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. Why would they stop now? You just need to know this number, 615-242-9000. So while all of this is happening, and if someone calls you while you're sitting there, while these bills are stacking up, they call you after wreck, they're breaking the law. I bet you didn't know that. That's right. They are lawyers. There are lawyers out there breaking the law. Blair and the team at Bart Durham Injury Law, they don't play those type of games. When you make the call, they answer. They're local, trusted, and ready to fight. No gimmicks, just a team that's on your side from the start. So if you or someone you love is ever in a wreck, remember Blair's number, 615-242-9000. That's 615-242-9000. Local, trusted, ready to fight for you.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. I'm Joseph Bonanno, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. Former Texas wide receiver Isaiah Bond is scheduled to visit with the Titans next week. After the number 1 overall pick, Tennessee holds number 35 in the second round. In Tennessee basketball news today, the Vols are visiting with former Maryland and Belmont point guard Jacoby Gillespie before the dead period begins on Thursday. Tennessee is expected to be the frontrunner for Gillespie, who has interest from Kentucky, North Carolina, and Villanova. The 6'1 guard started all 36 games at Maryland last season, averaging 14.7 points, 4.8 assists, while shooting 45% from the floor and over 40% from three. The Vols met with Virginia transfer Isaac McNeely on Tuesday. He averaged 14.4 points and shot over 42% from deep this season. For every foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your own with the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three, 104.5 The Zone. What up, Nashville? Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. I say it's beautiful because we're out, walking around or sitting around or doing whatever we do. But definitely stay weather aware over the course of the next several days. Will Minkoff with Nashville Severe Weather just hopped on, and there will be potential for some severe weather overnight tonight. So another situation where call people that might be asleep, that might be in the track of something, and things like that. Like Zeph.
Head on a swivel. By the way, you need to text us back when we're worried about you.
I was asleep.
Well, you should not have been asleep.
It was midnight. I have to be up at 5:30.
Yes, but severe weather is coming. You're about to be married. That's one of your responsibilities. Let everybody else in the house sleep, and you stay up and watch out for the storm.
That's what Mr. Babs did.
And then 15 minutes before, you get people, if you're in the track, you get people up. And otherwise, let them sleep and you take the hit.
Did not know there was going to be storms that night.
Well,
Gonna be honest.
That's on you.
I went to sleep.
You have got to be more aware of your surroundings.
I woke up to people yelling at me to wake up. And then being like, hey, the tornado sirens are going off. We got to go downstairs. And I was like, no, I'm good. And I put the covers back over my head.
See?
And then the covers got ripped off of me. And then I was unhappy.
Yeah.
And that's when I saw your text. And I was like, I'm alive. Don't worry.
I know. He said, I was very unhappy. I said, well, you would have been really unhappy if you were dead.
So Van, who we've mentioned before on the show, he cleans the building, does an incredible job. Like this dude,
we call him Minivan.
Slade calls him Minivan, so we all do. This dude, where's he from? Myanmar?
It's a place that I can't pronounce.
It used to be called something that I do know what it is, but now it's something else. Anyway, he does an incredible. This guy washes the floors every day. Every day.
He's awesome.
He's incredible. So I go, Minivan, how'd you deal with the storms the other night? And he goes, what storms? He said he was asleep like that. He didn't even know there were storms. He's like, when were there storms?
Minivan just out here living the life. He's like, whatever.
615-737-1045 if you want in.
Yes, and real quick, before we go to Brian Callahan, I want to get Carol on line 2 in Columbia on because she has a very special message today. Hi, Carol.
What up, Carol?
Hey, Dawn. Hey, Mayor.
Hi.
Y'all just doing great. And happy birthday to you, Mayor.
Thank you, Carol.
You share a birthday with my mother.
Oh, happy birthday to your mother.
Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 91 today.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's been around a while. She was born on the first Mule Day in Columbia in 1934.
That is
And
cool.
my grandma, her mother always said, well, that explains a lot.
Stubborn as a mule. Oh, that's
she
awesome.
still is. I think that's what keeps her going, being sassy.
See? There's a plus in it. I like it.
I love it, Carol.
Thanks,
Thank you for the
Carol. Tell
birthday
her
wish. I
happy
appreciate
birthday.
it. Tell your mom
Thank
happy
you.
birthday from 3HL.
I will. I love you guys.
Thanks,
All right, appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, I knew you wouldn't go to her because, you're like, oh, it's fine. It's my birthday. Move on. But
Yeah.
I wanted to let Carol tell you happy birthday. So happy birthday, Mayor. We love you.
You've been exceptionally nice today.
I know. Just don't get used to it. You get one day a year.
Well,
your
I
birthday.
mean, like the second you open that door, and by the way, our door to the studio weighs like 5,000 pounds. Like when we have studio guests, they think that it's locked. Like it's that hard to open.
Yeah.
But Babs, knows that. We all do. But she just slams it open when she comes in. Happy birthday, Mayor! Screaming at me.
I was going to bring you bundt cakes, but, sugar. Meh.
Nothing but cake.
Yep.
All right, so Kevin Clark, what is his Twitter handle? His Twitter handle is @by Kevin Clark. Spent some time with Brian Callahan on Monday in Palm Beach. It looks like they're right outside the Breakers Hotel. And he had a lot of really interesting, like, we've talked about this since Brian Callahan met with the media the first time. Like, my man will tell you everything that he thinks. Right?
Yes.
Like, I feel like
He's not very good at hiding things, I don't think.
Right. So, like, it makes it tough
Refreshingly honest.
It makes it tough on the insider guy, right? Because Callahan's out there just telling everybody publicly what's going on. Right. So this was one of those conversations, Easton Freeze had 90 minutes with him, and it was fascinating to hear what he said. And at that point, you're like, okay, Will Levis is not going to throw another football intentionally for Brian Callahan unless there's injury or something. But anyway, he spent some time with Kevin Clark, and Zeph, you pulled a few cuts on this deal. So we have some audio here.
Yes, we do.
Let's hear what Brian Callahan had to say to Kevin Clark about Cam Ward.
I think that's what's happened with him over this process is the more people have actually dug into him as a person, as a player, watched the tape, they start to come away with the impression of him that I think what's becoming more consensus is that he's a really, really good player and a really good quarterback and has some skills that translate. And he's got a work ethic and an intelligence and a personality that's suited to play the position.
All that happened to us.
And I think it's happening more and more as the outside world has dove more in on Cam because he wasn't familiar, right? He's all the way up at Washington State, played okay, the record was okay. It's not like they were, kicking everybody's butt.
He had entered the East-West Shrine game until Miami swooped in and kind of convinced him to go to Miami.
Yeah, and I think that was the best thing he could have ever done is take one more year of playing quarterback because I think what you see is the flashes at Washington State, and then you saw it become much more consistent at Miami.
Yeah.
And I think that's what everyone's starting to see is that he's really grown over the last year.
Interesting. Who was it? Was it Easton Freeze that had the story about Amy Adams Strunk went down to meet with Cam Ward? I think that's interesting. So you've got that, and then you've got Brian Callahan and Chad Brinker not going to Colorado. Now, I know they're going next week to the private workout on the 9th.
Right.
I get that. But
which they're going to get a heck of a lot more out of that than going to a pro day.
So Flo on Twitch said, do y'all think it would be a bad idea to order a Cam Ward Titans jersey before the draft so I can rep him on draft night?
Ooh. I'm going to say yes to bad idea just because I have no idea about Borgonzi and what is going through his mind.
It's risk reward. Flo, and I call him Flo because he's got a bunch of letters after Flo. But it's risk reward, but I think you would be okay.
Ooh. I don't know, Mayor.
The owner went to Miami.
I know, but you just have, what if it's all a red herring?
Oh, yeah. Okay. You're going back to the movie Clue.
Clue, yes.
Communism was just a red herring.
That's right. They're just trying to sell everybody. We love this guy.
Cam
He's
Ward
it.
was just
But
a
really
red
what we're
herring.
going to do is get a haul from one of y'all and trade back.
Right. So I'm saying risk reward. So you spend $125 on a jersey. Okay. Like that's your risk. If you want to do that, Like I'm saying, as we sit here on April 2nd, 2025, I feel pretty good about you being okay in that jersey. Mm-hmm. Now, Dawn's right. Things change. Maybe somebody offers them a deal that they cannot pass up, and they move back. I'm just saying, like, all signs point to Cam. I mean, all. Right?
And then some.
Yeah.
Dawn, what's your minimum offer that would take you off Cam? Because you've been on Cam since the beginning. So if you were the GM, what's your minimum offer?
Ooh. 3 first-round picks.
3
total. I mean, the one from this year where you trade.
I'd be okay with just next year's, but I would want some other picks. But in terms of first rounders,
it would take me everything to come off of Cam Ward.
Well, you would have to be in, like, you would have to think this guy is a first ballot Hall of Famer to give up 3 first round draft picks.
Or to not accept 3 first round draft picks.
Oh, you have to accept it.
Oh, you would absolutely.
Have you seen the roster?
I am all aboard the Cam Ward train, but if you didn't accept that, I'd be like, you are all idiots.
Do you think Callahan, like if Borgonzi's like, hey, BC, I just got an offer for 3 first round picks. We're going to move back. And BC, like, personally, he knows he's fighting for his job this year. So do you think inside he'd be like, damn it?
Yeah. Because they would be really bad.
He needs a quarterback. Because at that point, your quarterback room is what it is.
Monsoon in the chat, 2 first and a second this year.
That's kind of where I am. Yeah.
I think that's probably a legit.
Now, how far are you moving back? That's the other question.
Right.
I do it in my head that it's the Giants, although the Giants have filled their quarterback room. So,
although the Giants have reportedly been seen quite a bit talking to Titans brass, Giants brass at the owners' meeting, spending time together. So
yeah, remember Buck yesterday? We played that clip of him asking Borgonzi about what would it cost to come off number 1, and he didn't give like a price. He just said it would cost a haul. Yep. So I really want to know what a haul is to the Titans front office.
Well, I mean, the rumors were that they wanted 3 first round picks, and that's what turned the Giants off. And then they went and got Russell Wilson
and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
you could still get Jameis Winston and trade up to get Cam Ward for sure.
Okay, not to muddy the waters here, but here's the other reason why, Flo, I'm a little worried about a jersey buy. What if there's some crazy trade scenario going on for a quarterback that could involve Big Jeff, or who knows? Like, there's so many other aspects that could happen on draft day that you just never know.
All right, so Patrick Mahomes for Big Jeff straight up.
Yeah.
Who says it? Who says no? Yeah?
The Chiefs, they say no.
Oh,
yeah.
615-737-1045, always the number. We'll get back into more of what Brian Callahan had to say with Kevin Clark in the 445 segment. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at the Final Four from a sports betting perspective. Todd Furman joins us live from Las Vegas next. 3HL 1045, The Zone. I want to tell you about my friends at United Structural Systems. You need to know these guys with all these crazy weather going on. You may need some foundation repair. You may need to know about waterproofing. USS, definitely the company that will help you out. Homeowners trust USS. You can check them out online at USSTN.com or call them 615-488-7855. That's USSTN.com, serving Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, and Western Kentucky. Yesterday, I talked with you about some symptoms that may indicate some waterproofing needs from USS. Today, let me talk about foundation repair, some symptoms that might exhibit a need for foundation repair, and for you to call United Structural Systems. When it's hot and dry weather, you notice soil cracking, pulling away. You're gonna feel that, experience that. Hopefully not, but from your home this summer, leaving holes or gaps next to the foundation. Maybe your bricks are cracking, walls bowing, doors or windows sticking, drywall separating, stair step cracks in masonry, mortar joints. chimneys tilting or leaning. These are all signs of a possible foundation issue. Your house may be trying to tell you something. Let the experts at United Structural Systems investigate and give you advice. That you need peace of mind. At United Structural Systems, they are the company to give that. Over 30,000 100% satisfied residential customers, and they will help you. Homeowners trust USS, keeping homes dry and stable. We guarantee our best. Call USS, serving Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, and Western Kentucky. Online, USSTN.com, or call 615-488-7855. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport with you. Slay Dog is in San Antonio. Check out the college three-point shootout and the college dunk contest, and Slay Dog will be all over it. Part of the broadcast team.
The broadcast team.
McDonald's All-American game yesterday, boys and girls. Mm-hmm. 3 future Lady Vols were participating in that one.
Did you watch the boys a little bit?
No, I did not.
I just flipped it back and forth.
I was doing things around the place. But anyway, we've had a couple of phone calls about Cam Ward. If the Titans take him number one, can he wear number one? The Titans have retired the jersey numbers of 6 players. Warren Moon, number 1. Mm-hmm. Steve McNair, number 9. Eddie George, number 27. Earl Campbell, number 34. Jim Norton, 43. Bruce Matthews, 74. And Mike Munchak, 63.
So what number would you think Cam Ward would...
No.
What number do you think Cam Ward would pick when he comes here?
I have no idea.
When he comes here.
At this point, it's a win.
I don't know. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Again, thank you to the 3HL crew for all the birthday wishes today. Candy B says, today is my friend's dog's 3rd birthday.
There you go, Mayor.
I like that.
You can celebrate with the dogs.
Karen said the lightning woke her up on Sunday night for a few minutes, then went back to sleep.
See?
I know how that situation went down at your place.
I wish I was with you, Karen.
Your fiance tried to wake you up, and that's when you didn't get up. And then someone else in the house woke you up, and you got up.
So I got up. I put
That's how it went down.
I put the weather channel on my phone, and I went and sat down in the bathroom, and very begrudgingly.
I'm right though, right?
They're just trying to protect you.
Did you hear that, man?
I heard yelling. It was my fiance shaking me to get up. I said no. Put the cover back over my head. Try to go back to sleep, and then I heard yelling from downstairs. Get up. Tornado signs are going off.
From someone else. Yes.
Yeah. Mother-in-law, maybe.
Yeah, that's a matriarch. You listen to the matriarch. Todd Furman joins us now live from Las Vegas. Todd, what's up? How are you?
I am doing well. Hopefully you're enjoying your birthday festivities around here, Mayor, and taking full advantage of trying to figure out when you guys roll out the red carpet for Cam Ward to be the next face at the quarterback position for the Tennessee Titans.
Would you put a large amount of money on that?
At this point, you look at the way the betting market is.
Value, right? But
no, look, if you think it's a formality, then there's always going to be value, even in a price tag of minus 2,000. If you have word that, hey, this is who the Tennessee Titans are taking. Yeah, they can't. Yeah, exactly. You have to put up $20 to make $1. Right now, it is a far cry. Well, for him to be the number 1 pick, I should say, not to necessarily go to the Titans.
Okay.
It's a far cry from when we had this discussion initially, and you could have had Cam Ward right around a pick him in that minus 115, minus 120 range. But I would say that typically when you're reading the tea leaves, if the Tennessee Titans are sending their social media team to Cam Ward's pro day, it might be a good indication, unless there's a little bit of liar's poker going on, that he is indeed going to be their guy.
It's a heck of an effort if there's liar's poker going on.
Todd, we were talking about this during the break. Do you know how old I am?
I do not know how old you are, but I'm going to set the over-under.
No, let me set it.
Oh, okay.
50 and a half.
Oh, I'm going under 50 and a half.
Thank you, Todd.
Oh, look at that. Furman. Oh, your bank account is a negative.
What is the exact number here?
Well, I'm curious to know what you would have set it at.
I would have probably had it pegged right in that 47 and a half, 48 and a half range.
Wow.
Thank you, Todd.
No,
See, this is why we keep people around you that are good people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's an old hag, Furman.
52, Todd, 52.
52 then. That's a good thing. You don't look a day over 46. So take full advantage of that, Brent.
I love it. All right, let's talk about the Final Four because we've got a situation where we had the Willis Reed moment with Janai Burton coming back.
Hold on 1 second. Speaking of situation, where's Slay?
Slay is in San Antonio.
He's in San Antonio.
He'll be a part of the broadcast team.
He's conveniently ducking me when I was going to ask him what the hell that offensive performance was the first 20 minutes in Indy, and how come Slay didn't decide to suit up and try and go out there and shoot that team out of their offensive funk in the second half.
Ooh. You didn't bet on them, did you?
No, I've been higher on Houston than the market, and actually ended up on the Houston money line when the number dipped in that minus 140, minus 145 range.
So I really think that me, Don, Zeph, Slay, and you could have probably put up 15 points and a half.
You haven't seen my shooting capabilities. Keep in mind that even as a youngster, I think the last time I played a competitive basketball game was about 8 or 9, and the coach looked at me in the huddle and goes, "There's a reason you're open on offense, and it's not because you're an elite shooter."
Well, he said, "Go back to the hockey rink."
Well, listen, out of the 5 of us, I would put 3 former college athletes on the floor and 1 SEC Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not a dummy. When I get into the offensive set, I'm going to try and give the ball to Slay and hope that Slay has a little bit of lift left. The problem that I would have with Slay is I think we got to try and get into heat up pretty quickly, because if we're even playing 10 minutes a half, I feel like Slay will be winded 90 seconds in.
Yep, that's about right. Or he'll tear an Achilles.
Or maybe we'll all be winded 90 seconds in. Let's be real. Just told you how old I am. All right, so how do we break this thing down? So where are we with Janai Broom? Obviously, he came back in, but he was still, grimacing with that.
I thought he'd been hobbled all tournament.
Yeah, it looks like he's fighting through a lot. But Florida, a 2.5-point favorite. Obviously, they've played before. They played in the jungle. Florida won there. How do you break this game down?
I think we work under the assumption that he will be out there. His level of effectiveness remains to be seen. And the $100 million question, the familiarity that these two teams have. You mentioned the previous meeting. Sure, that may give you a little bit of an indication for a data point at this juncture, but there's a reason that this number really hasn't budged from where it opened up at 2.5, hasn't leaked out to 3. Florida clearly hasn't put together the most complete efforts over the last couple of games as you dig into some of the Gators box scores. Pretty fortunate, in my opinion, that UConn melted down. Florida found another gear to dispatch a Maryland team that may have been a little bit distracted given all the shenanigans around Kevin Willard taking the Villanova job. And then Florida snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. We know it's survive in advance, but I'm not sure any Gator fan felt that optimistic when they were down 9 at the under 4-minute media timeout and thought they could find a way to create some separation. Meanwhile, for Auburn on the other side, look, the average age on this roster, those are grown men that are out there. They're going to need to try and commit defensively, because if this does turn into a track meet like the total suggests in the high 150s, I think the advantage goes to Florida. But with this particular shooting backdrop, in my opinion, it'll be what team commits defensively, what team can get their game going on the interior. And right now, as it stands, if the number got to 3.5, I'd probably be buying on Auburn. But as it sits right now, Florida 2.5-point favorite, no real interest in the side. The only way that I would look to get involved in this game would be going under the total in the first half. I think you could see these teams go through a little bit of a feeling out process in the first 20 minutes.
All right, Houston and Duke. Interesting storylines, very different pacing here. What do you think? Duke favored by 5.5.
So this is a game where I have much stronger opinions, and I have already bet the Houston Cougars, took some 5.5, took some 5, and I actually think they win this game outright against Duke. The reason I say that, from a numbers standpoint, I can't get any higher than 3 on this game, and that's adjusting for Duke's current form for the tournament and given what we've seen from this group of Blue Devils. But we go into Duke's resume, and look, we had questions about the ACC all season long. There's a reason it's the first time that there wasn't one single ranked versus ranked team going head-to-head during the ACC conference schedule. And then you begin to assess what Duke has done in the tournament. They took care of Baylor in dominant fashion, winning that game going away and exceeding odds makers' expectations. They didn't quite get there against Arizona, despite scoring 100 points in that game, weren't able to cover as a 9.5-point favorite. And in my opinion, got Alabama in the perfect spot with Alabama coming in off that record-setting shooting performance against BYU. Now, the one thing about Duke is we know this team is extremely talented on the offensive side of the floor, but they are relatively young in the grand scheme of things compared to a Houston team that has some of that veteran leadership. They have revenge on their side from the 54-51 loss last year, where Houston lost their point guard early in that contest. And the one thing for Duke, when you try and look at what they've been able to accomplish since, we'll call it January 1st. We'll use that as a stopping point. They played one team that had a defensive efficiency rating inside the top 25. That one team was Clemson, who checked in at 17 at season's end. That also happens to be Duke's only loss, 77-71, as an 8-point favorite. Houston, in my opinion, defensively, we know what we're going to get, but the X factor is how this team shoots the ball from the offensive side. I do think Houston offensively is better than they're given credit for. Do I think they're going to go out there and try and win this this game 80-78? Absolutely not. They're going to need to play physical like we've seen from the Cougars, but I think you have to give them the experience edge, not just from a player standpoint, but also in the coaching box. And it's no disrespect meant towards John Shire, who I think at this point in his career is a substantial upgrade, given what we've seen from Coach K as he started to get closer to retirement. But this is a buy low opportunity for Houston, who I think has had a more difficult road to get here. I know people disparage that 62-60 win against Purdue, but that was a tough environment. Houston found a way to get it done, and we saw Houston and what they're capable of doing, not only against Tennessee, but against a very good offense in Gonzaga in the round of 32. So I'll take the points with Houston. I think they win this game, and quite frankly, I think we're talking about the Houston Cougars finally breaking through and getting Kelvin Sampson that elusive national title. My pick before the tournament, I'm not going to waver from it now.
Why is it that it seems like nationally everybody, I feel like, overlooked Houston coming into this tournament? I know they're a 1 seed, but regardless, I still feel like not many people were talking about them.
I think it's always the same, Dawn, the same questions we have about Houston and their offensive capabilities. And on some level, I think it's some of the things that have haunted Tennessee as well. And the reason they haven't been able to get to the Final Four over the last couple of years, can you overcome that inevitable shooting drought and a stretch where, a team may only score 6 or 8 points? But for me, this Houston team, when you dig into some of their metrics, especially shooting from distance, significantly better than what we've seen in the past. I mean, it's a team, when you look at their resume, has lost 1 game going all the way back to the end of November, and that came against Texas Tech at home, 82-81. Not like Tech is a slouch in any department. This will be the biggest number that Houston has found themselves installed as an underdog since they lost to Baylor in the Final Four. So just a lot of things lining up here where Houston doesn't have some of that star power up front. The Big 12 a little bit discredited, and seems to always be the case when Kansas isn't the alpha in the room. But this Houston team, for me, has a little bit of that championship medal, and I think they're finally going to get through when you can lean on players like an L.J. Cryer, Milos Uzan, who's been outstanding, Juwan Roberts, and Emmanuel Sharp. This team has a few more weapons than what they've had in the past.
So your future champions pick right there?
Yep, Houston would be my pick. I wouldn't run to bet Houston, though, in the futures market at a price tag of right now, I've seen plus 450 up to plus 475. Okay. And again, I'm not saying to run and bet them on the money line against Duke. I think they win the game, but feel much more comfortable in what I think will be a lower scoring game. The value of being able to take 5 in a game that I think should be priced closer to Duke minus 2.5.
How did the SEC fare as a whole from a betting market standpoint in this tournament?
This is a conference that we knew coming in was power rated one of the best that we had seen in college basketball history. And I think you're only nitpicking if you're trying to find teams that disappointed. There are, of course, going to be individual fan bases that'll be unhappy with the way things went. Tennessee at this point has to feel like unless they're getting to a Final Four, it's a little bit of an unfortunate end. Ole Miss fans probably ruining that second half collapse against Michigan State.
Yep.
Yeah, even going all the way back to the start of the tournament, maybe Missouri fans have the biggest gripe when they lost outright against Drake, but this is a conference that, even if they don't win the national championship, is going to have a team in the national championship game, whether you're picking Florida or Auburn there. And I think, in my opinion, that has to be considered a monumental success for a league that over the last, decade plus, we've always associated with being the gold standard for college football, but they're starting to assert themselves on the college hardwoods. And you look from top to bottom in this league, I think the coaching position there is in the best spot it's ever been in for a league. And I don't think it's just a flash in the pan for the SEC's overall level of dominance.
Yeah, 7 of the 16, half of the Elite 8, half of the Final Four, and half of the championship game.
Yeah. It's all you can ask for. It'd be one thing where, if we were talking about the SEC, some of the teams towards the middle or the bottom losing to mid-majors in the early rounds, then you go, okay, this league was vastly overrated. But it's so much different when we assess the overall value of a conference and what they've accomplished during the regular season and through the postseason through the lens of March Madness than the nonsensical arguments that all of us make about, a team lost in a third-tier bowl game. Who really gives a crap about some of those games? They don't tell you much about the league other than the teams now in the college football playoff. And if we really want to go through and look, Bama dominated BYU, and that was one of your second-tier teams coming in. So there are a number of different lenses and ways that you can slice it. Again, every fan base isn't going to be happy with how their teams performed, but if you're an SEC enthusiast from top to bottom, you have to be thrilled with the way the league asserted itself.
One more note about Houston that I thought was interesting that Jim Nantz brought up on 3HL on Monday. He said, because he now can follow his team, and he had a great time. So he was at the Houston-Tennessee game, but he said, this Houston group, basically they have the transfer portal point guard. Everybody else has been like kind of coming back and buying into Kelvin Sampson. So I think that's an interesting element. But he also said the last 2 games that they played in Indianapolis were both road games, basically. And I thought that was an interesting note as we head toward the Final Four. That's in Texas.
Look, the committee over the last handful of years has not made things easy for Houston by any stretch of the imagination, and I think they can kind of take the us against the world mentality. You saw a little bit of that against Purdue, although I do think they got tight in the final 5-6 minutes when they looked like they were going to run away and extend that lead and win comfortably and potentially cover in that particular spot. But they, weathered the storm, were able to get that bucket late on a perfectly designed play and carried some of that momentum forward against Tennessee. When we try and identify, who may have a slight edge for this, these games on Saturday in San Antonio, I don't think you're going to see much in the way of home court in a venue like that. I have my own thoughts on the Alamo Dome, and it's a venue that I never want to go back to anytime soon to see a sporting event by any stretch of the imagination. But I do think where Houston can benefit, if they're able to upset Duke on Saturday, that the proximity from San Antonio to Houston, I know it's not a stone's throw away, that you may see Houston fans picking up tickets at a cut rate price, trying to be there in attendance if this team has an opportunity to win a national championship.
Why the hatred toward the Alamo Dome?
Well, from a overall venue standpoint, I think it leaves an awful lot to be desired. So we can go for that. And above all else, it was actually the scene of the crime for arguably the worst beat I have ever suffered as a sports bettor, going back to the Alamo Bowl between Oregon and TCU, where I think the Ducks blew a 5-touchdown lead. And to only add salt in the wounds, I'm sitting next to my podcast partner who had the other side. He's laughing maniacally as he knows that he did not deserve to cover that. And then to make matters worse, we leave the stadium on early January, and it's basically freezing rain. So I'm left to mope all the way back to the hotel with what I thought should have been a rocking chair winner, only to see Oregon and Verdon Adams completely fall flat on their face when he left that game with injury.
Wow.
It's funny what you remember,
great.
Huh?
Not great, Todd, but great.
Yeah, great story.
No, it's fine now at this point. Trust me, Don, I have more than recovered. It's the scar tissue that keeps you going. But in the moment, yes, little to say, I was none too thrilled about that overall experience.
Handful of NHL games tonight. You on anything?
I did dabble a little bit. I know there's been some major market resistance on what I'll call the marquee game of the night. I actually bet the Leafs at minus 106 against Florida. I know Florida has really had Toronto's number. You look at the last 6 regular season meetings, the Leafs have only scored more than 2 goals once. But they come in as the better rested team. I don't love Florida's form here. And I think this game is of the utmost importance that you're going to get a playoff-like intensity. And while normally I gravitate towards the team with pedigree, I think it's a cheap buy low price for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But look, let's not kid ourselves. If you're banking on Toronto to do things in a high leverage spot, more often than not, you're going to be disappointed.
For those that don't know, Todd does a lot of work with NASCAR. And Denny Hamlin with the win in Martinsville. Darlington Sunday at 3. You got anything there?
One of my favorite tracks from a betting standpoint where it is a true driver's track, and you'll see that reflected in the odds market with Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, all relatively short prices that are there. We took a little bit of a nibble on some long shots earlier this week. Have some 35, 40 to 1-ish on Chris Buescher and Kyle Busch. Do I think those guys necessarily go out there and win? No, probably not, but I think those prices will shorten as we get closer to the week. But I do think the best value at the top of the board, in my opinion, is William Byron, priced right around 9 to 1. I think Reddick and Larson are worthy favorites, but I don't think William Byron should be 9 to 1 while those guys are floating around that 5 to 1 price tag.
There he is. He's Todd Furman. Do you do MLS at all?
I do not. That's one sport that I've never really gotten into to try and cover MLS. Used to do a lot more handicapping in the Premier League and some Champions League stuff, but just as I realize as I get closer to being your age, I don't have nearly the bandwidth I used to, Brent.
Don is a huge soccer fan. So he can't believe you just said that.
Well, international competition, look, I'm as fond of as anybody. So from a World Cup handicapping standpoint, I will be all in on that particular side, despite some of the disappointment we've seen from Team USA in the Nations Tournament. a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, European domestic leagues and the MLS just don't come across my desk all that often, and I don't spend a whole lot of time trying to find an edge there.
Yeah, Dawn's favorite thing in sports is the 0-0 tie.
Oh, my gosh.
There's nothing wrong with a nice defensive-minded soccer match in any capacity. There is some rhythm to it. There's a little bit of creativity and strategy behind being strong structurally and being able to grind out results.
Okay, well, there's no result if nobody wins.
Well, the result, Dawn, would be 0-0, would be what the result is. So, yes, it's a result. Is it high-flying and offensive-minded? No, it is not going to be the case. But typically the MLS doesn't lend itself to some of those defensive slugfests the same way that you'll see in the World Cup next summer.
Yeah, I don't know how to teach my 4-year-old, hey, it's all about winning, but in this sport, it's okay if you tie.
Done. The first thing that you have to teach your 4-year-old is not to run like a pack rat with everybody else on the soccer field to try and chase the ball down. So
this may or may not be why she doesn't play soccer anymore.
Yeah, you need to teach her about spatial awareness more than anything else. And look, it may be time somewhere along the way to get her into the sport that mom played at a high level. You just have to hope that height's on her side.
Uh-oh, that doesn't look good.
You've seen both parents.
Yeah.
Right, Todd?
Well, look, you know what, Brett? There's always a spot for a good setter if you're a little bit closer, and it makes it easier to dig than being 6'4".
That's right.
Todd, just a ray of sunshine. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Furman.
I like to provide that silver lining, especially in Slay's absence,
I got you.
Always a pleasure, guys.
Yep, thank you, man. There he is, Todd Furman. Bet the Board podcast at Todd Furman. More 3HL coming up. Stay tuned if you want in. 615-737-1045. Larissa, Tristan, hang tight. We'll get you. We'll be right back. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, these are your guys. It'll be the best vehicle buying experience you will have ever had. They've got deals going on now in the month of April, and you can check out the website for all of the deals. They've got a tremendous pre-owned inventory collection. You can check that out online as well. The new inventory, everything is there. Address, phone number, GuptonMotors.com. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. Go see Daniel Gupton and his crew. Just let them know what you're looking for. Maybe you need more space. Maybe you need a third row. Maybe you need something better in terms of gas efficiency. Maybe you need something cheaper. Whatever you're looking for, just let them know, and they will be glad to point you in the right direction. You take your test drive, you go inside. They help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Again, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, Tennessee. Best vehicle buying experience you will have ever had. About 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Did you know you're overpaying for your health and wellness products?
With over 20 company-owned brands offering its members vitamins, supplements, wellness, and skincare products, you're able to save up to 70% off retail.
Members Nutrition can't change your life, but we can change the way you live.
We've got the trucks, all the trims, all the towing, all the bells and whistles, and all at Truck Month Savings. Two Rivers Ford is Ford Truck Central.
Whether you're a homeowner creating your dream space or a pro managing multiple projects, discover a new way to shop at Ferguson Home, where great ideas become stunning spaces. Ferguson Home is designed for the way you want to shop. Explore the best selection of bath, kitchen, and lighting products online, or experience items firsthand in one of our showrooms. Our experts offer personalized support every step of the way. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home, where it all comes together. Shop top brands like Visual Comfort or find your local showroom at fergusonhome.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. How long we been rolling, Zeph?
Like 3 seconds.
Oh, okay, good. Gloria Gaynor, I will survive. 615-737-1045 if you want in. Somebody brought up the question, what jersey number should Cam Ward wear when he becomes a Titan?
That was me. I brought that up.
You did. Okay, thank you, Zeph. Well, someone asked, will he wear number 1? The answer is no. Warren Moon's number 1 is retired. He cannot wear number 9. He can't wear 63, not that he would.
No.
I can't see Cam Ward in anything other than 1, so it'll be interesting what he gets.
What about 7? 7's a good number.
Who has had 7?
Who's had 7? That's what I always
Malik
think
Willis.
Oh, did he?
Malik Willis was 7.
John Elway had 7.
Okay.
He won 2 Super Bowls.
What about 6? Could you see him wearing 6?
That's like Bubby Brister. And
I was thinking like, he got comped to Steve McNair, but he can't wear a 9, and if you flip a 9 upside down, it looks like a 6. So, maybe.
That's putting a lot on the kid. I mean, 6 was Brett Kern.
Oh, yeah, that's putting a lot on him.
Best punter in Titans history.
Billy Volek.
Billy Volek wore number 6?
Mm-hmm.
So his high school number was 12, according to Kent in the chat. So
somebody said 7. His high school number was
7. Yeah, sorry. I was looking at 2 messages at the same time.
So all players to wear number 7 for the Houston Oilers and Tennessee Titans. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm. Oh, this ought to be good.
Mike Edwards in 2024.
I'll let you know when I recognize the name, all right?
He was on the team last year. Todd Furman.
Oh, I know him.
2021. Blaine Gabbert.
Oh, boy.
Or number 7. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm just here to be Greg Joseph. Or number 7.
I'm just here to assert my dominance.
His quote was, I'm not here to assert my dominance. I'm here to be Greg Joseph.
Did Malik Willis not wear 7?
I haven't gone through the list. Zach Mettenberger.
Oh, God.
Oh, this isn't in order. Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's in alphabetical order.
Ooh, Zach Mettenberger and Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, the Met Show. Braden Narvison.
Ooh, rookie.
Sounds like a hockey player. Dan Pastorini. I loved him when I was a kid.
Great name.
Yeah, he was a good player too. Bucky Richardson. Played at Texas A&M. Bucky Richardson. He was a quarterback also. Reggie Roby. Incredible punter. Multiple kickers on this list. Cairo Santos.
Oh, boy.
Who went to Chicago. He's been there forever.
Who was terrible here and then was good
like
elsewhere.
So many other
like
kickers.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, Greg Joseph's still in the league.
What I'm getting from this list is number 7, you're either a backup quarterback or a kicker.
Yeah.
Let's stay away from that.
Billy Volek, number 7. Kent Sullivan, 1991.
Volek wore 6, too.
There you go.
He was 6 and 7.
He's on 2 lists. Malik Willis, Zeph Dog, wore number 7. Matthew Wright, last year. These guys that were on the team last year.
Listen, so he could forge a new path with 7.
He could. And Tony Zendejas, a kicker.
A lot of kickers like number 7 for the Titans.
Yeah, that's weird. It's not a kicker number. Like 1 or 3, right?
Or like a big, like 99. Like
you can't in the NFL.
There.
You have ranges of numbers. I hate that, though. I think anybody should be able to wear whatever they want to wear.
No.
Why?
Because that's just dumb.
I like the big dudes that wear the single digits. I love that.
Okay, so you want to know something that's so funny that came up today? That who is it? Odd Todd on Twitter quote tweeted it, and said Babs with the call here. It was the Twitter feed football's greatest moments. Tweeted about Khalil Mack wearing number 46.
You did a Khalil Mack game.
It was so long ago.
You don't even remember.
Don't even remember it. I don't even remember covering Khalil
You know
Mack.
what's weird about the 6 and 7 o'clock hour, like the 3HL after party? there are times where I hear what I say and I'm like, did I really say that?
I don't remember that. And that's the same day.
Same day, just hours ahead of time.
Yeah. So we're just talking about jersey numbers and how you have to wear certain numbers in the NFL. Do you have it? Okay, so this was on the Twitter feed, Football's Greatest Moments. And just to set the scene, it was a story that I told on Khalil Mack in I believe it was the Idaho Potato Bowl when he played for Buffalo. And they were playing San Diego State. Here you go.
Yeah, if you're wondering why he wears the number 46 as a linebacker, that was his original player ranking in the NCAA football video game. He didn't like it. He thought he was worthy of a higher ranking, so he decided he would wear 46 the rest of the way just to prove everyone wrong, almost kind of like a chip on his chest.
That's right.
46 was his ranking.
Your voice sounds very different.
I know.
Okay,
so that was 13 years ago.
Well, like when I listened to it this morning when you sent it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's very clearly Don Davenport. I just listened to it over here, like right after you talking. I was like, oh, maybe that's kind of a little different.
Lots of things changed when
it's
Dawn.
a little bit higher, isn't it?
Yeah.
My voice was a little bit higher pitched.
A lot of things happened when Davenport had a baby. Like her hair now is curly. She now has
not as blonde.
She now has heartburn, and and her voice is lower.
Great. That was Baby Dawn, though. Literally, that was 13 years ago.
Larissa, I'm so sorry. Hang tight. We'll come to you when we come back.
We're coming back.
5 o'clock hour up next. We have no more guests, so if you want in, we'll do phone calls. We've also got audio from Brian Callahan with Kevin Clark. We started and did not finish, so we will play some of that as well. 615-737-1045.
Hey, by the way, I just want to let you know, I am going to give away Sounds tickets coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. So stick around for that after this break. First, I want to tell you, though, a little bit about Zen Sports. Obviously, tourney is winding down, and maybe you haven't jumped in on the Zen Sports app. You totally need to. And what a great time to do it. Don't forget to use my promo code DAWNTN, DAWNTN, when you sign up, and they'll give you whatever special is going on. The Zen Sports app is getting a major upgrade soon, too. They're going to be launching the new state-of-the-art VIP Play app later this month, and you will be able to bet on more than 200 sports leagues and parlay nearly every single bet offered. Ron Slay will be excited, period. Also, I will have my own special same game parlays featured. So will many more of your favorite sports talk hosts right here in Tennessee, because Zen Sports is based right here in Tennessee. So head to zensports.com/VIP play, learn more, and claim an early welcome bonus offer on VIP Play when it launches in Tennessee later this month. Get in on the Zen Sports app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. You got to be 21 and older and in Tennessee to bet.
All right, y'all. Listen up. I'm telling you right now, PAI Medical is where you want to go. RegrowHair.com. Slid over there today and got my little 45-minute treatment, the laser or PRP treatments. You can do either one for men or women. It's just sitting there. You sit under the lamp. You get on in there, get some work done. While you're sitting there, 30, 45 minutes, boom, you're out. You're gone. See them in 2 days if need be. Just up to you. Now, you want to look and feel better about yourself? This is the time and the place that you need to go to get it done. It can start right there, building your little confidence when you're looking in the mirror. You're like, man, that little sunroof. Nope, I don't want the sunroof. I want a hard top. Let me close it up. I can put some hair bell. I'm cool. It's mine. It's my own. Just need a little help growing it. That's all you got to do. Call them right now at 615-376-6010. That's 615-376-6010. Nowhere else in Tennessee has the Artist Robotic FUE procedure. And we grow hair's high-density hair transplants that give you 2 times more hair. So 615-376-6010. Go where I trust. WeGrowHair.com for your free consultation right now.
Good evening. It's 5:03. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Former Texas wide receiver Isaiah Bond is scheduled to visit with the Titans next week. They also have a top 30 visit with Tennessee wide receiver Dante Thornton on April 15th. At 6'5", Thornton ran a 4.3 at the Combine. In Tennessee basketball news, the Vols are visiting with former Maryland and Belmont point guard Jacoby Gillespie today before the dead period begins on Thursday. Tennessee is expected to be the front runner for Gillespie, who has interest from Kentucky, North Carolina, and Villanova. The 6'1" guard started all 36 games at Maryland this season, averaging 14.7 points, 4.8 assists, shooting 45% from the floor and over 40% from three. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Bring news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Can't be weather aware the next several days. We had Will Minkoff on from Nashville Severe Weather. Flooding a potential issue over the next several days, all the way to Sunday. I'm talking about, what did he say, 4 to 5 inches of rain in Nashville proper? Maybe more. But also severe weather possibilities tonight, overnight. So while Zeph is sleeping and the tornado goes right above his house.
That's right.
Hopefully you guys are more aware than he is.
Right. Way to go, Zeph.
Executive producer of 3HL.
What's up?
Is Zeph. This is Zeph's last day. He's getting married this weekend.
Not ever.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
It is arguable.
I don't even know when you're coming back. I know you're out Thursday and Friday. I kind of work one day in advance. It's kind of how I do things, but
I'm gone all next week.
Okay. And
on
then
a honeymoon.
And then you're back the following Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
So that'd be
Tan and relax.
The 14th.
And in this beautiful bliss of newlywed.
And
it'll last for about a month.
I'll probably be pretty upset because I'll be missing Aruba.
Yes, you will.
Very much.
Aruba,
You're gonna have
Jamaica.
a ball.
I'm already missing Aruba, and I haven't even gotten there
take
yet.
You
to Bermuda, Bahamas.
Come on, pretty mama.
Key Largo. Montego.
Baby, why don't we go down to Kokomo? There you go, Zeph.
No, that was the Beach Boys. We just did the Beach Boys for you. 615-737.
It would have gone to Johnny the Poet's beat there.
It kind of would, yeah. Especially the way we were singing it. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please. Happy birthday, Mayor.
Thank you, Babsy.
Boom, boom,
I love
boom,
that Todd
boom,
Furman
boom.
put my age over under at 46 and a half. That was good.
Yeah. And he was going to go under. How about that?
That is true. Man, I meant to say this earlier. We're talking about birthdays, but R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
Oh, yeah.
That was a tough one.
Iceman
from Top Gun. He was in the new Top Gun. Well, the second Top Gun.
How old was he?
This is my hottest take of hot takes recently. That Top Gun, the second Top Gun, is better than the first one. And the first Top Gun is one of my favorite movies ever.
Wow.
I agree.
I haven't seen it.
Haven't seen both. I think I've seen each 3 times.
Oh, my gosh. He was only 65.
How can you not have seen Top Gun? You saw the first one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you got to go watch the second one. It is better.
It's incredible. He was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2014. That's why he always had he had a trach, right? I think so. And he always had, in the Top Gun movie, he had the scarf around his neck.
Yeah, he lost his ability to speak. So in the movie, they actually had him type all of his lines out on a computer, kind of like part of the storyline, which is pretty cool.
It was really cool how they did that, and they wanted to include him.
And it was a long scene. It was 5 minutes long.
Yes, and an emotional scene, but I won't spoil it because Babs has not seen it.
Okay.
He was in The Doors, played Jim Morrison in The Doors, incredible. The Saint doesn't get a lot of play, but an exceptional movie, and Elizabeth Shue was in that movie, so makes it
you
better.
love her.
Mm-hmm. He was in Heat with De Niro and Pacino. That was an incredible film. He was Doc Holliday in Tombstone. Where's Wyatt Earp? I don't know. He's over there walking on water, or however he said it. Was a great line. And Real Genius back in the day was one of his first. But R.I.P. Val Kilmer, he had pneumonia. He was 65. He was supposed to go to a Beverly Hills Film Festival and had RSVP'd that he was going on the day that he died. So, tough there. 615-737-1045, 615-737-1045. We've got time for all of your phone calls coming up this hour. Larissa in Nashville. Larissa, what's up?
Hi, you guys. I love the station. You guys are amazing. And congrats to Seth and his fiance. Happy birthday, Mayor.
Thank you.
And I know that you probably get overwhelmed with all the happy birthday goodness.
I love it.
And I have to say that I know that Slay is in San Antonio, mi tierra. So, yeah, it's a beautiful city just like Nashville. But I want to piggyback on what Don had said a little bit, and in regards to what ifs. Now, everything is very strategic. The right hand doesn't need to always know or see what the left hand is doing. And we're talking about the NFL. So everyone is saying that Cam is coming to the Titans. Is he? What if he isn't? And I'm just curious, because what if they throw a monkey wrench in? I get the impression that, again, you don't always need to put in light what you're doing behind the scenes. But I'm going to hang up and listen. Great show. Happy birthday. You guys make my heart smile.
Thank you, Larissa. Appreciate
Love your
it.
positivity always.
Yeah, it's not necessarily what they say, it's their actions.
Well, the Miss Amy.
You're not going to opening day with that quarterback room. You're not. You are not. No way.
Now,
You
we
give me
don't have
pushback?
any. No, I don't. I don't give you. Well,
You gave me kind of a look there.
I give you a little bit of pushback.
Okay.
I mean,
So
Will Levis is.
Levis, Allen, and Boyle.
The intangibles are there, though. I mean, what is Will Levis? I can't believe I'm having this conversation. What does Will Levis look like with an offensive line that is a little bit better?
Oh, I'm with you. To be fair to Will Levis, and we've said this, yes, with an offensive line that's better, where he's not thinking when he's about to take the snap that he's about to go in a car wreck every time the ball is snapped to him. With another year with the same offensive coordinator, which he hasn't had since at least Penn State, and with a head coach that called plays for the first time and now you would think knows his quarterback better, right? So there are reasons to, like, if they go in that direction and just, number one, they're telling you, I mean, it is a 2-year build, right? But they're telling you for sure if they do that, that they're going to get in the quarterback market next year, right? So,
and my concern always is I don't care if the quarterback market is better next year, if the crop of quarterbacks is better, you still have to have, A, the draft capital to be able to move up if you do win some games, right? And B, you have to have willing suitors. And if there's somebody who, like the Titans this year, are in that number 1 spot or number 2 or 3 spot that need a quarterback, which is usually the case, you know, there's no certainty that you're going to be able to work with somebody to move up to get a quarterback. So that's where that's where I fall on why I've been Cam Ward from the get-go. And a lot of people want to talk about this quarterback class as a whole, but you don't have to look at the quarterback class as a whole if you're the Titans because you have the number 1 choice. Yeah. And Cam Ward is a first-round top 10 draft pick at quarterback.
yes.
Almost everybody has said that as far as film and talent evaluators.
Greg Cosell, who will be on the show tomorrow, we lean into him, right? And he said he's the best quarterback of this group, and he's worthy of the overall number 1 pick. Yes. Now, he's not a mock draft guy, but when he typically doesn't even say things like that, but
he said that. Yeah.
615-737-1045. What up, Tristan?
Hey, thank you for taking my call. Happy birthday. And also,
for a wedding gift for what's his name again?
Zeph.
Wait a year and give like $100 a check. So he uses it because he'll probably find like something wrong in the marriage, and they will need counseling. And
Tristan.
No. We will not take this
you know-
slander on a Wednesday before the happiest day of his life.
Come on, Tristan.
No, I'm just saying. I know this one person that goes to weddings, and
I did give him cash though. I did do that. That's funny.
Yes. So I just want to help out there.
All right, Tristan, let's move on from the wedding thing. I don't look. It's about to rain outside. I don't need it on the phone.
No, we don't need
I
your
love and
negative
respect you, bro,
marriage
but okay.
All right.
Okay. And for the draft trade down, get a number one pick for next year, and keep like the pick that you pick up for this year, and then get offensive linemen, because if one of our offensive tackles gets injured, then we have like
nobody
an extra offensive lineman or tight end, because the tight end class is so great. And then we get Mason Taylor or Colston Loveland from Michigan, and then
Let me ask you this,
Houston.
Tristan. Let me ask you this. Let's say you do that. You trade back, you get a haul. This is my question for everybody, every trade back person. Who is your quarterback this year now that this quarterback room has been set in free agency? Who's your quarterback this year if you trade back and don't take Cam Ward?
I'm riding with Will Levis, Brandon Allen, and Tim Boyle as my quarterback room.
That sounds rough.
Hey, I like hard workers, and Will Levis, yes, he's not the greatest quarterback, and I will be happy for next year's draft class, because that's where, like, if you only have a peach pie at a grocery store and you're out of apple pie or any other pies, then you basically have a peach pie, which I don't like. But
that is a great analogy, Tristan. Thank you, man.
So
Appreciate
Cam Ward
it.
is now peach pie to Tristan.
I really
Cam
was.
Ward's peach pie.
I was really interested as to where he was going with peach pie at the grocery store.
I mean, I totally understood where he was going with it.
I don't like
He's
any
basically
fruit pie,
saying, well,
but-
this draft class is only peach pie, and I don't like peach pie at the quarterback position.
I'm with him
I
on
get
that.
it.
I don't like cherry pie. I don't like apple pie. I don't like any kind of fruit pie.
Well, you may not like peach pie, but the Titans are starving and haven't had a meal in several years. So if someone puts peach pie in front of you, you're probably going to eat peach pie.
I need the quarterback that's cheesecake. I like cheesecake. Whatever kind of
Cam
cheesecake
Ward
you
can be whatever you want, Mayor.
Yes, that is true.
It was an interesting analogy from Tristan, and I totally get it.
I know. He saved himself. He went with wait a year to give a wedding gift.
Yeah, he was going down. I was about to snipe him. He was going downhill.
You
fast.
were about to snipe him. I was about to snipe him.
We'll hear from Callahan, who talked with Kevin Clark when we come back. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? KellamStemCellInstitute.com. Head over there, get that inflammation up out of your body. You probably like aches and pains. Yeah, I was just going to take a Aleve or Advil or something to get inflammation out of your body, but you're going to be doing it over and over and over and over and over again. That stuff, man, eats at you internally, and you already have the cure inside of you. All you got to do is harvest it. That's right. Your body, your cells, your solution. Harvest your body's stem cells and store them for future and continued use. Now, these cells are your body's healing cells, harvested and redeployed based on your needs. Stem cells attack inflammation in the body, and we know that all autoimmune disorders are derived from inflammation, whether it's congestive heart failure, lung issues, arthritis, autism, either one, it doesn't matter. 615-850-4415. That's the number you need to hit up. 615-850-4415. Talk to Dr. Kellam directly. Sit down with him. Only can do that at KellamStemCellInstitute.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport with you. Slay Dog involved in the college basketball three-point shootout and slam dunk competition. He's not participating, in case you were wondering. He will be on the broadcast. That event comes up tomorrow night.
I have a feeling that he might be very active in his role.
Oh, he's going to have a blast.
Yeah.
He'd be like, what? I'm going to have a ball.
Yep.
615-737-1045 if you want in, at 3HL 1045 on the X machine. You can get us that way. There are storms in the area. The clouds look weird. They're moving fast. All kinds of weird stuff going on. So, Will Meekoff from NashvilleSevereWeather.com, Nash Severe WX on Twitter. Must follow if you're in Middle Tennessee. They primarily deal with Williamson County and Davidson County, but they do the entire storm lines and things like that. So, must follow for sure. He told us severe weather overnight tonight possible. So check that out and head on a swivel. 615-737-1045. Avery in Franklin. Avery, what's up?
Happy birthday, Mayor!
Oh,
thank you, Avery.
I also have a question for you guys.
Okay.
If you get Cam in the first round, what do you do in the second round?
Hopefully, Avery, wide receiver or edge rusher, that somebody falls. And maybe Luther Burden the third from Missouri falls to that spot. I don't know, but Landon Jackson from Arkansas is an edge player that would probably be there. So,
Avery, how old are you?
I'm 10, and I'm going to turn 11 later this month.
That is awesome.
Well, thank you for the happy birthday wish, Avery. Appreciate you. Happy birthday later in the month.
All day.
Yeah.
Also, do you remember me from Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yes.
Yes.
We definitely do. Not the
Also,
first time
Don,
you've been on 3HL.
Definitely not. Also, Don, guess what? I have Auburn winning over Florida.
You do? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Woohoo!
Thank you, Avery.
Yay, Avery. Love it.
Remember her at Buffalo Wild Wings? She stepped right up to that microphone with no fear at all. Owned it.
Love it.
615-737-1045.
Got those Tigers.
Yeah. So I totally could see an Auburn-Houston matchup.
I don't know about that.
What if, Babs, you have two of the Final Four and neither one of them wins it?
No.
Todd likes Houston.
I know he likes Houston. He likes Houston to win it all.
Right.
I don't care. He's wrong.
Todd has been wrong. It's just be right. What was the number? Like 56% of the time?
Yeah.
He said professional gamblers try to hit 54%. Like that's where they are. So he's like,
that's like a good.
He's like, be careful. All these guys saying guaranteed things and all this stuff. Like they're really trying to hit 54% correct.
Well, and
because of the juice.
Furman has been over that number his entire betting career.
Yes.
Except for last year of football.
615-737-1045. He had a tough one last year, yes. GE in Brentwood. GE, what's up?
Hey, Mayor. Hey, Don. Hope y'all are having a good day. Got some dark clouds rolling in for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, be safe.
Wanted to touch base, and happy birthday. I wanted to touch base about the Cam Ward situation. You know, this franchise in its history, and I actually lived in Houston back in the 80s, it's not known for being subtle, and they're doing everything other than screaming to the rooftops, hey, we're going to draft Cam Ward. Get your offer in soon. And I kind of think that they're not all that excited about him. And so I guess my question is for you all to comment on, what's the best you think we could get out of the draft and still get the top 10 pick? And number two, it just seems that the scene is set that this is a very important draft for the Titans because of that building that's going up in the ground over there.
For sure. They have a clear eye on that for sure. One thing you said that was interesting before you finish real quick, because I want to hit on it before I forget about it, because that's what happens with me. If they stay at number one and do not pick Cam Ward, this is the biggest shell game pull off on ever in the NFL. I mean, it's crazy to think about that scenario you just laid out there. But in terms of trading the pick, yeah, we were talking about Babs wants 3 first-round picks. Like, so you move down to get this first-round pick of whoever you trade with, then a first-rounder next year and a first-rounder the year after. I might be okay with second round this year, first round next year, and then some additional picks in those 2 drafts. I don't know. But sorry to interrupt you.
3 picks, that's the kind of stuff they would need to get.
Right.
But my point about the building is, and I'm guilty of being a licensed professional in a firm that has rented a suite for the last 20 years. And without going into detail, if you were buying something from somebody and you thought it was already a pretty healthy price, but you weren't all that crazy about the product, and they came to you and said, here's the deal. In our new location, we'll sell you the same thing for 5.5 times more than you've been paying, with a 10-year guarantee and a 10% escalator. That's what they're asking people to do. And from what I'm hearing, they're not selling too many of those suites. So they got to have a good draft.
Thank you.
Good to talk with you as always.
Appreciate it, GE. Thank you. 615-737-1045 at 3HL1045.
They got to have a good draft for the health and future of the franchise.
Anytime you build a new building. I mean, I remember this specifically happening when Jerry World was built, right? Like the old Texas Stadium, people were like, I sit on the 50-yard line. I've paid this for this long. And now for this price, I'll be second row from the top of the building or something like that. I mean, there are stories like that for sure. I don't know where they are, other than what I hear over there is that they're pacing ahead of where they expected to be. So now I don't know like specific. I think that's a general terms. I don't know about suites.
Right.
I don't know. I know that they're pricey. I do know that, obviously. Yeah, we'll see. 615-737-1045, the number at 3HL1045. Sydney in the borough. Sydney, what's up?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Good, man.
How are you?
Happy birthday, Mary, by the way.
Thank you, Sydney, man.
Yeah, for sure. So I know it's kind of like a common consensus that we're going to pick Cam Ward in the first round. But I was just thinking, for the Titans to be successful and, like, to set themselves up for success, wouldn't it be, like, kind of a consensus to pick a wide receiver in round 2, too? Because, like, the edge rushers class is pretty bad. So I was just wondering what y'all thought and who you think the Titans should go with in round 2, because I think wide receivers are a pretty clear choice. I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The edge class is actually pretty decent.
That's what they say. Landon Jackson's a guy that we like because, again, we get I don't know, maybe a little bit jaded because we have more information eyeball test-wise on SEC guys.
Right.
Dawn, with her role with ESPN, expanded what she saw this year, what you saw this year.
Mm-hmm.
So you do that. But, I mean, anybody that watched the Tennessee-Arkansas game understands that Landon Jackson was a dominant player. Zeph, you were screaming at the television? Is that what was happening?
Yeah, he made me very upset when Tennessee lost to Arkansas.
He made me very upset.
That whole game made me upset.
I can't wait to read your vows.
Definitely had an overreaction there when they lost. Thought playoffs were over. There's no way.
You overreacted to a Vols
I know,
game?
it's very surprising.
I am shocked.
You have gotten better in our chat, our text, though.
I'm learning.
He's taking a deep breath. He's listening to who is it? Herm. Don't press send.
Especially with Slay Dog. I mean, he got to
How many times does Slay say?
Long game.
Relax, Zeph.
It's a long game. Zeph will come with really positive things too, though. Like overreact that way too.
Yeah. Well, so did you after the Vols basketball team lost. And immediately, what do you send?
I said, well, Tennessee just swept South Carolina in baseball, and the Lady Vols won at Oklahoma. The first time ever they've taken a series from a top 2 team. In
softball.
in softball. And the only time that Oklahoma, they've only lost one series since 2006. I went with that.
Yeah.
Right after Tozy
What was
lost
my
at basketball.
response? Are you serious? Is this for real? You have to be kidding me.
How frustrating was that first half? Todd alluded to it, and I was off on Monday, so I know y'all talked about it, but I didn't really get a chance to.
Yeah.
But 15 points?
I mean, that was unbelievable.
I'm like, how?
I mean, that shooting performance, what did they shoot, 28% for the game?
Hell, I don't know.
I think it was, they
They were pretty even in the second half, but that's
that
because
bad.
Houston was, playing with their food at that point. But I kept these are the kinds of weird fan thoughts that creep through your head. So I was thinking immediately, I was like, well, damn, if Tennessee would have played that second half in the first half, this thing would be a lot different.
Yes, it would.
Edge players he wanted. Okay. Nick Scowerton from Texas A&M is a guy that people really like, but he's an interesting prospect in terms of not much production, but the measurables are incredible. It's one of those dudes.
I don't like that.
He's at the end of the first round.
I don't like that for a second rounder.
Yeah, he's listed at the end of the first round by CBS, but we'll see.
Because to me, okay, if you didn't produce in college, if you didn't have the numbers in college.
He's the guy, right, with 2.5 sacks each of the last 3 seasons? Scowerton? I think that's right. Jared Ivey, Ole Miss, ranked 45th player. Landon Jackson from Arkansas, 6'6", 264.
Y'all love him.
He's ranked 48th by CBS.
I think Cosell likes him, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Jack Sawyer, Ohio State. Tyler Barron, former Vol, Miami Hurricane, 80th ranked player. So you can kind of go down the list and find some talent at edge that will play in the NFL in the mid rounds, second round, third round, fourth round. 615-737-1045. Steve is in Brentwood. Steve, what's up?
How are you today?
What up, Steve?
So, lifelong Titans season ticket holder, just gave him up this year, going to the soccer team. Team that doesn't want to win. I hope to God they draft some really good players or even mediocre players. My season tickets are going from 130 to 300 apiece, and the PSL is 18,000. So I'm not a person that is worried about the money. I just worry about a team that wants to win.
I got you, man. There are a lot of people that just said, I'm so glad that you're not worried about that money.
Throw that money away, dog. You don't need that money.
Hey, Slay Dog! Slay Dog's
Slay
here.
just jumped in
What
for
up,
you,
dog?
Steve. Yeah.
What's happening, y'all?
What up, Slay? Hey, I will say this to Steve's call.
Yeah.
This team wants to win. They are just having to dig out of an unbelievably bad hole created by poor draft after poor draft after poor draft. But this team wants to win. I promise you. Look at what they've done even though it hasn't worked. Look what they did last year in free agency. I mean, the want to win is there. Borgonzi would not have taken this job. They would not have offered this job to him if they didn't want to win. So I'll go against you on that, Steve. But I completely understand with the new stadium and the ticket prices higher and all of that. Like, hey, show me that it's going to be worth paying that to be in that building to watch that team. That's fair.
I will pay for hope. Thank you for the call, Steve. Appreciate you, man. Slay Dog, how is San Antonio, brother?
Horrible.
What?
Horrible.
Not a fan?
No, guess what? It ain't horrible. It's not what I thought it would be. How about that?
Is it Nathaniel City?
It's now when you get to ranking cities and you have a list of Nathaniels that you're not even gonna go to, they're right there teetering. I give them that. I give them that.
Nathaniel. It's so funny that you say that because I've heard nothing but good things about San Antonio. So when you texted us that today, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Well, guess what? Guess what, yo? It is a really good city. It's nice and clean and like everybody's to themselves and people speak and like nobody's really in your way. It's a lot of space. But as far as this is my problem. I've never been to a Final Four. And maybe it'll change at the back end of this later in the week.
I'm wondering.
But I've been able to go with us when we go to Super Bowls and we go to stuff like that where events are held and the vibe is just totally different. So that's what I walked in expecting. You know what I mean? Yeah. I came in, put my bags down, and then said, I'm going to sit down and relax because I'm going to go out tonight, give me a nice meal, nice drink, feel the vibe, smell the air, see exactly what's going on. And I went out at 9:40 and everything closed at 10. So that kind of left me a little deflated. I had to eat Leo's pizza last night. I feel like they tricked me out of my money a little bit, and I was willing. Willing to be tricked out of it, you know. So
yeah, I mean, you were desperate.
Is amazing.
Yeah, I was. Oh yeah, it was kind of crazy. But I will say, it's supposed to pick up towards the end of the week, and I'll be the judge of that. And let y'all know. You know, one thing I ain't gonna do is lie about it. So
yeah,
right now, this is their application has been stamped for a Nathaniel City. I thought Charles Barkley was joking, and not to the extreme to where he goes with it, but as far as me looking for an event city, I now understand what Jim Nance was talking about when he called in saying he's going to really push for Nashville to get the Final Four, Women's Final Four, Super Bowl, because we spoiled in Nashville. Everybody in Nashville listening, love your city. Love your city.
Yeah, he said he gave two cities that he thought were great host cities for sporting events, Indianapolis and New Orleans, and he said Nashville will be incredible.
It's no question.
Yeah.
There's no question. Because of San Antonio, and I love what they do with having it here because it boosts the economy. No question about it. That's like they need it. But, man, Nashville deserves it. I'm going to be honest. Like, we got something to do.
You roll over to the Alamo yet?
Now I think I'm gonna pass on Alamo. I may go down there. They say got a nice mall down there by it, so I may go down there. But then I looked at the list of the mall, the stuff in the mall, and it was Abercrombie and Claire's, and I'm like, that ain't Finish Line, like
Forever 21.
Yeah, that ain't where I'm trying to go. So I think I'm gonna pass on the Alamo and the mall, but I am going to see the Riverwalk just because I need to.
You have to see that. It's funny that you won't go to the Alamo because the mall's not better.
It's true.
Lots of Tennesseans went to the Alamo back in the day.
Yeah, and they you absolutely.
I heard it's small though, Slay.
I feel like you need to go.
I feel like I don't, Babs.
What? Come on, Slay.
I mean, R.I.P. Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman.
Babs, I'm out here looking for a good time. And it don't seem like a good time is going to be at Alamo.
Listen, you're getting lots of food wrecks and all of that in the chat, and they said Tony, Anthony in the chat said he's gonna hit you up on Twitter with some wrecks. Check out the Pearl from Todd Apple. He said that. So there you go.
Let me tell you this, Babs. Let me tell you what this is. Let me tell you what this is too, though. Like this is a perfect spot. Like if you are trying to get away and just rest and not really be bothered by nobody and kind of be to yourself, maybe find a nice restaurant, come back to your room at 10, lay down and, kick your feet up, twinkle your little toes or something. Like this is the place for those people. That's no doubt about it.
Twinkle your little toes. What about the rooftop bar on top of the hospital at the Riverwalk? That was something.
That right there kind of warned me. That kind of warned me right there. Like, if you got to put a bar on top of a hospital, people want to go to bars and fall out in them. Nobody want to fall out and be taken care of in a hospital. That ain't what you want to do. That's not what you want to do. You want to have somebody carry you to your home or to your front door, lean you up against the door and leave you. Like that's the party. That's what I'm looking for. Lean me against the door, ring the doorbell, and run.
Oh, okay.
Babs has said it would have worked out well with her having to deal with people in the hospital every once in a while that she could have gone to the bar on top.
I'd have been all about that.
See, that's what Babs been dealing with in life lately. So
yeah, that's right.
People keep telling you to stay on the Riverwalk, and you'll enjoy it.
Oh, really? Oh, well, guess what, everyone? We'll see tomorrow.
There you go.
2M Smokehouse, Henry's Puffy Tacos. They deliver. Dewey Cheatham House says.
Okay. Y'all, everybody knows me. I ain't never told y'all that I want some tacos. I ain't never told y'all that. All the listeners know that. I don't want no tacos.
You like tacos.
What about Puffy
Worldwide Taco? You love tacos.
No, I love Worldwide Tacos from California, from LA.
Worldwide. That's what I said.
Oh, yeah. I love Worldwide Tacos.
He does the specific thing, though. Once he finds
that's a restaurant. That don't mean I love all the worldwide of tacos.
It's like he doesn't like every sandwich, but he loves potbelly.
Absolutely. Now we're getting somewhere.
I speak Slay. So the event coming up tomorrow, college basketball, 3-point shootout and slam dunk contest. We can see you participating. Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's gonna be live. We just interviewed all the players, the contestants. The females and the males. Some of the males arrive tomorrow for the 3-point contest, but the dunkers should be good. I'll be sitting at the desk while the dunkers are dunking, so I'll get to be myself. What's the word?
Yourself.
Thunderbird.
That's a good word, man. Myself.
Your jubilacious self.
Yes, there we go. Yeah, so we get to have fun with that tomorrow, and then I'll be working the crowd, walking around with me, Angel Gray, Jay Billis.
Oh,
while Sean
nice.
is sitting at the desk.
Look at you.
Yeah, so we got a good little crew, man.
Oh, well,
good
look at you, big timer.
That's a much better crew than this crew.
my crew at home killing this crew.
I love it. Thanks for checking in, Slay. Good luck on the Riverwalk, and hopefully San Antonio gets off that Nathaniel list.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna check in tomorrow. Let y'all know.
Okay, perfect.
Leo's pizza is all I had yesterday. So.
All right, we'll check in tomorrow. We'll see if it's better, and then we'll talk a little bit about the event. How's that?
Sounds good.
There he is. He's Ron Slay.
Happy birthday, y'all! Happy birthday,
Slay Dog. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, brother. I love it. All right, Zeph is killing us to get out of here. So Dawn has a giveaway. Do you want to do it when we come back?
Yes. I'm giving away Sounds tickets.
Sounds tickets next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Okay, with all of this crazy weather we have had lately and the rain and all of that, it's a little muggy out there. Are your windows like fogging up? Do you know that your windows are failing you and you need new windows? Or maybe water comes in the bottom of the door. That happened in my townhome. And so who did I call? I called Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville to replace my doors, my windows, and am now doing some extra new windows in my house as well. And you might be surprised to learn how affordable replacement windows are from Pella Windows and Doors. Affordable, and they are the best quality out there. I can attest to it because I have used this company, and on top of it, I did all the research for you because I went through almost every single company that exists before I decided to use Pella. They have been phenomenal and voted #1 by Nashville homeowners as the leading window brand in Nashville based on that City 2022 survey of leading window brands among homeowners. I love a good deal. You love a good deal. We all love a good deal. And they have the Dawn deal for you. Changes every month. Last month, it was 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 full months. I got to look up what this month's deal is, but whatever it is, it's awesome. 615-249-1910. Go visit them. Schedule your free consultation online at PellaNashville.com.
3HL 1045, The Zone, Wednesday edition.
Winning Wednesday is what today is.
You've got a giveaway. We just looked at the radar, and there is a huge line of storms back in Arkansas. So Will Minkoff from Nashville Severe Weather came on the show and talked about the potential of severe weather overnight, and it looks like it's going to be a minute. So
like 2, 3 a.m.
Yeah, I'm bad at judging that, but it is in Arkansas. It is a huge line of storms. There are storms popping up in advance of that line, which I know some of y'all listening are experiencing that right now. So just weather aware the next several days. This is going to be a turbulent time through Sunday, I guess, is kind of what it looks like. And then flooding we're going to deal with. But that's what you got over there.
Yes, it's Winning Wednesday. And so why don't we give away Sounds tickets for next Wednesday? How about it? Caller number 5.
Wait, that's April 9th. That's the individual workouts for the Colorado guys next Wednesday.
Good job, Mayor.
Yeah, so if you're not going to that, you can go to the Sounds game.
That's right. You're free. 615-737-1045. Caller number 5 right now to win 2 tickets to see the Sounds host the Memphis Redbirds next Wednesday at First Horizon Park. And the Sounds are going to have a clear tote giveaway for the first 1,000 fans. So bring the whole crew out to First Horizon Park for a summer of fun. Fireworks Fridays, can't miss theme nights and giveaways. They do a good job on those, by the way. There is something for everyone. Don't just watch baseball. Experience it with your Nashville Sounds and grab your tickets at NashvilleSounds.com. Good luck to ya. Mayor, happy birthday.
Thanks for making it a great one, y'all. Seriously, I really appreciate all the comments, the messages, the happy birthday wishes. If you sent me something on social media, I will do my best to get back with all of them. Zeph will be off tomorrow and Friday. He's getting married on Saturday. He'll be out all next week on a honeymoon.
Go, Zeph!
Zeph, we wish you the best, buddy. Congratulations. Have a great day on Saturday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And, Dawn, you asked if there's anything you can do with me. You can keep this rain away.
Oh.
Keep the rain away.
I'm on it. Rain dance coming.
No.
You need to do the opposite.
The Bizarro rain dance.
Yeah, the rain dance to make it go away.
Yeah.
She knows what she's talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
Appreciate you guys for including us in your day. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take that lightly. We hope you have a great night. Be weather aware tonight. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be you.
Unless you are Brent Doherty. Happy birthday.
Bingo card today. Todd Furman put my age over under at 46 and a half. Love you, Todd. And Trans Porn Star was on the bingo card today.
That's
good. I like that. That's a good